Whew, okay. Let's get this show on the road then. So, last we left off, the Wayward Wanderers are still passing time in Ral Halfthird, awaiting their fated match at the Grand Arena with the Troubadours. Following a heartbreaking betrayal by Dranth, the cute but nervous researcher from the Zenith Institute, a good friend of the group, Gwen, has been kidnapped. After smelling something was afoot and using your new and hopefully trustworthy ally, Carnell and Brightburn, you teleported to Ral Nibelgup, where you found her house with a broken door and domicile torn asunder. The body of Presso, a travelling academic who you now know to be part of the Lost Seekers, was also found within. You determined that Gwen had been kidnapped by 3 people who teleported away via an insightful dream from Zinni. Through careful deduction, you've come to the conclusion that the likely place that she's been taken is the Zenith Institute itself. Teleporting back to Ral Halfthird and into your room in the Ladies' Garden, you had an unexpected encounter with Levant and Nyx of the Troubadours. After becoming acquainted, you've learned that they are surprisingly willing to help with your current situation. You then asked Nyx to scout out the Institute and went and spoke to Spriggett, the closest thing you could get to a man on the inside. He gave you a layout of what he remembers of the Institute, and you have now begun the painful and arduous task of trying to form a plan to get in unseen, find Gwen if she is even there, and get her out. Wayward Wanderers, I must remind you, every action has a consequence. The stakes have never been higher. Someone's life and potentially your own hang in the balance. Can you determine the best decisions to make, or will you let the pressure of the situation overwhelm you? On this godless and accursed island, look out for each other and do your best. Wayward Wanderers, what would you like to do?
Please. God, that was an intro. Holy fuck, Dax.
You find yourself still in Spriggett's abode with a incredibly nervous and hyperventilating Spriggett in the kitchen, shakily sipping some water alongside his wife. And Carnellen now, with his disguised self disapparated, sat amongst you, chatting within Spriggett's living room. What are you going to do, guys?
So we're with Spriggett.
Spriggett's in the kitchen, so he's not in the living room with you.
Okay. Do we know where they would hold Gwen within the
No.
Institute? Would Spriggett maybe know?
He told us about the basement, but can't really know for sure.
I mean, if he knows the place, there must be at least like if they're gonna hold someone, it's probably there, right? So we should ask that to Spriggett. Or at least something that we have to, something that we can then follow up on, and then we can ask, what was his name? Nyx, the guy that's taking that shit out.
Mm.
Yeah.
We can ask him if he knows anything surrounding that building. Because that's the building that we're done. So we need to, like, it's such a big institute. We need to know where to go.
The thing is, keep in mind that he's not staking out the institute inside of the institute. He's like literally around the whole fucking building thing.
Yeah,
so...
but it's still curious.
Yeah.
Like, any information can give us at least
something.
For sure. We can deduce something from it. Briggy.
Yes?
Alright. Listen up. Focus right now. I know this guy here in the room, you're a big fan of his, but just focus up, alright?
His eyes keep darting over to him.
Look at me. Alright. If you would hold anyone in the Institute, keep them prisoner, keep them secure, keep them away from prying eyes. Is there any building, any floor, any place of the Institute that comes to mind?
Well, all of the rooms that are encased in the void stone are towards the back of the institute, and he draws a line with his finger along this wall here. These are all the rooms that are lined with void stone. Any of these rooms would prevent magic from getting into them. There is also what was, while I was there at least, a basement, but I know it used to be a maximum security cell when the place was originally a prison. You know, owed to it being a bit more underground.
Gee, I wonder where Gwen is.
Yeah, that's why we were gonna go there. It's just that we're not entirely sure.
Well, at least then we have a point of entry.
Yeah.
And you guys already knew this?
we didn't tell you, but we were planning on entering here. Can you see?
Yeah. Why
Yes.
there?
Because there were like a few point of entrances. Like I believe one was here. One was here.
I will
One
draw for you.
here.
It was entrance here, an entrance here,
Yeah.
here,
Can we make our own entrance with the one?
and here.
Well, thinking it has charges now, we might be. But the other thing is, like, we can't really enter any of the other entrances because, well, there is a fucking building next to the wall. And here is basically the only place we can use our little spells and get inside without an issue.
Also,
But
the wand
also-
has been errated to only work on non-magical stone, which void stone is
Right,
not.
which is, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Ao said that we could probably use the one for like distraction, because he has steel pebbles on him, and he could have spawned some elementals for the students and whoever decides to help to be distracted with, while we all get inside of the building, or maybe if shit hits the fan, use them for like a distraction as well. So yeah, we have a good idea of where to enter. It's just that we've got no idea what to do once we are inside. Because, yeah, who knows whether we will be able to safely get to the basement. What if there are people that stop us from it and stuff like that?
If they're using a basement to keep prisoners, could we, people who can disguise themselves, pretend to be researchers and claim that we're taking the people who can't disguise themselves to prison?
All right, but that's
Well-
maybe... Is that information we could get from Nyx?
I don't think so. How would they know?
Well, what's he staking out then? Just the outside walls? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. He's just looking around. I don't think they can enter, or even if they can, we have to check with them.
All right, but then they're just viewing the front gates.
Yeah.
He's a rogue. He's not just watching who's going in and out. He must have some more information than just that.
We don't know what kind of rogue. Maybe depending on his specialty, he could enter, but
Okay, then-
we don't know.
Then we need to come up with 2 plans. First plan, we get enough information to disguise ourselves and actually get inside sneakily. Second plan,
yeah.
we cause a ruckus while other people, part of the group, sneaks in.
We already have enough information to try to sneak in, I think, because we know what they wear, obviously Dranth and all that. We know the boss's name. We can just claim that, we
But
can sort of kind of just blag our way in, I think.
technically, we don't really know that much. What happens if, in front of students and all, we're fine, no problem at all. But what if we meet a fellow researcher, you can't say we are bringing these prisoners to our prison below. Like we don't really know that they actually do that. We're assuming
we
it.
we could just pretend we don't know, as in we could just claim that we've been ordered to take these guys down there. We don't know why, but we're just doing told.
Just tell that the head mistress sent you. You can't tell them what it's about, and hopefully that will instill some fear into them to be like, all right, yeah, I'll leave that alone. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to know, I can go get the
You seem like a scary lady. Yeah, just pretend it's like on official business from the headmistress, so you're not allowed to say anything. They'll be
Headmistress.
fine. Yeah, the bitch.
Do we know that she's a headmistress? Did I miss?
I don't
something?
know. Whoa.
Or we just know like the head researcher's name. That's
Oh.
all we need.
We don't know the head researcher's name. We know the boss of the whole place's name.
Well,
And
there you
know
go.
that-
Even better.
Yeah, we know that he basically collected these researchers and brought them here. They didn't exist beforehand. So we know that these people work for him, and they're a very small amount of people. That like they're not like you can't go up to one of them and be like, yeah, I'm here because the boss sent me to. I don't think that would work. Like, we could try, sure, but I would assume that they know what they're doing. Because literally the one that I probed the mind of, she literally spilled the beans because she knew exactly what the rest of the researchers were doing there.
I mean, things we can try and blag our way in to get close enough to them, where if they do start like sussing us out, then Scott can just kind of just come out from behind us and bonk on the head.
Right.
That's always an option.
Assuming they
Yeah,
are not
we
wrong.
just need to, we can get past anyone who's not really paying attention, and like, if we do get into trouble, then we just force our way through.
I don't think I like the idea of thinking that we can easily force our way through. Yeah, basically, if we get to a point where there's like one person and we could figure out a way of dealing with them without, causing a ruckus or whatnot, yeah, sure. But keep in mind that we would be in a closed up space, so any sounds would be heard by the rest. Like, our spells that we are using to hurt people, they provide sound,
The other option then is like, you guys try and sneak in, and me and maybe somebody else try and cause the mother of all distractions.
I suppose.
And then that way, the small amount of researchers all need to go and deal with that situation.
Also, if we're sneaking in as a group, there's another thing. There could be like a few people heading, basically being in front of the rest, making sure there's no much people that could spot us. Basically, we could either use invisibility for it or whatnot. And if Nyx is joining us, they could be potentially very good at it as well. And for the rest, we could easily just try to. I genuinely don't know. Trying to
Like,
think
if
of something, but I can't.
you find a way of the wall, me and somebody else can just go via a front entrance, blast our way in, and just summon like 3 golems. And just like cause a massive distraction.
Yeah, but
Or we can teleport our way in, summon the golems. That way the barrier is still going to be up, so if any
Can't
guards are
teleport.
around, they can't come and help because the guards are going to be blocked out.
can't teleport because Kernellen can teleport once
No, so
more.
when I say teleport, I mean I can misty step in.
Oh, fair, yeah.
I misstep through the barrier, summon the golems inside the barrier. That way any guards, from the city can't get in to help.
Yeah.
And the
In-
researchers need to get out of their guard posts and such.
It definitely need to be disguised then, because
Oh, well, I mean,
we cannot let the golems lead
I'll
back
be
to us.
disguised as Jay's character.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Guys, we should go talk to Nyx. How long has he been staking
Yeah, we
this
have
out?
to. Not long. We've been in Sprigget for like less than an hour, if I assume so, and they were like with us beforehand.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
They could have got here quicker than you, potentially, but it's
Oh, yeah,
been
for
like
sure,
an
but-
hour you've been at Spriggets.
So
That's still a
have we
long
asked Spigot about the barrier yet? It being all the way around the walls.
Spriggett, good sir.
Yeah, yes.
This barrier, the the mundane barrier thing.
Repel mundanity, yes.
Yes, that one. Does that go around the entire institute, like over the walls, like a
Oh
bubble?
no, not at all. It's just in the entryway where the mundanity would be funneling through.
Fantastic, thank you.
That helps a lot.
He goes back to idly staring at Carnellen.
Okay,
Uh,
so who can't disguise themselves to sneak in?
okay, for 2 minutes.
I mean, we could just get like a really big robe and like get him like a physical disguise.
We could, but that will take time.
Yeah, true. I mean, it could be me and Scott doing the distraction. I mean, seems like
That could work.
good like person to make a distraction. Bear in mind, if I'm summoning these golems, I need to summon them. I think pretty sure I can only summon one per turn, and they're going to be going for me straight away. So
They go for the closest person, don't they?
yeah, if he's the closest person or the person who is like affected in the last like, attack-wise and such.
Yeah, so if you can summon the golem close to somebody you see walking around, you can maybe summon the golem and then...
Some poor sod
Away.
1 day away from retirement.
Yeah. Well, for all we know, they're all bad people, so we're not too bothered. We just want to keep the students safe. It's the researchers we're...
Yeah, I imagine like as soon as it's, so I think what we do is if we basically break down the barrier and just like do a lot of shouting and threatening and so on, the students will probably run away, and then we can. We don't want to break down the barrier though, when guards can get in.
Yeah, indeed. So, what was the problem with us going over the wall in the corner where we initially wanted to?
I mean, we can go over the wall, use my levitate, but then I can't leave by front gate to distraction.
Could you walk back to the front gate though?
I guess yeah. If you guys like go over the wall and like stay hidden while I move around, I can do that.
That can work.
Then you guys only go inside buildings when you see all the guys leave the building. So obviously,
Yeah,
if you try heading in while they're leaving, they're gonna wonder what you're doing.
indeed. And there's a statue right in front of the building, which could be a good target.
Oh yeah, I mean if I can explode that statue, that's yeah, that'd be the main idea.
It's a long way from the front to the statue, by the way. Like 200 or 300 feet.
That's from the main gate.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about from the back of the building.
Okay.
And then that...
Yeah, I mean, I could
Front
come
end.
over. I could come over the wall with you guys, disguise myself as like a student, and just make my way over there. Yeah, quick walking.
Yeah, I like that idea. Do you think we should find Nyx and see if they want to join us?
I think before we go over the wall, we find where Nyx is, and see if there's any useful info.
Sorry, I'm back. Did we decide on anything in the meantime? Except for visiting Nyx beforehand?
So current for obviously checking with Nyx beforehand, and that might change things based on
Yeah.
what he says. But obviously, we go over the wall where we said all of us using levitate to get over it. While you guys are waiting in that corner, I disguise as a student and basically make my way over to the statue and then start causing a distraction.
I already look like a student.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but you guys disguise yourself as best you can in the meantime. And then once all the people run out of the building to see what's going on, then you guys make your way in.
Oh, yeah, I just meant I could have done it if you don't want to lose a spell slot or whatnot. But yeah, sure.
All right. Well,
Um,
we might have to change our plan based on what Nyx has to say, though. So just keep that.
that's totally
Never mind.
fine. Yeah. Also, one thing, I might have to drop my disguise at some point because I'm currently very crippled. I have -2 on strength, dexterity, and constitution saving throws.
And any
each
checks.
hour I'm what? And checks, yeah, sure. And each hour I'm in this form, I gain. I need to check whether I can still stand in it or I might lose it, which is fair. But yeah, I'm crippled, and I'll have to get out of it as soon as possible.
I'm disabled.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to shapeshift?
An
Um,
action.
It's an action. It should be fine.
So long as we do it then before we get into any sort of combat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the main thing as well is like we don't want to break the barrier unless we need to on the way out because that'll stop any guards getting in.
Necessarily, it's not too terrible for combat either, because it's having to do strength checks is something I would be avoiding in general. If it would only be dangerous for constitution and dexterity saving throws, I suppose. Well, yeah. So, since we got the information from Sprigget, the one we needed, shall we start going towards the institute to meet Nyx?
Let's do it.
And then we can check with them and figure out what we're gonna do. Also, in order to find them, because I don't think we're gonna find them that easily once we're there, I might have to use sending and try to find them.
I guess if we kind of just stand around like the outside, like not making ourselves obvious, but presumably
Yeah.
if they're watching, they'll see us and whatever.
Well, possibly, I would suggest maybe instead of going the normal way to the institute, we should probably go back maybe here somewhere. Or actually, did you find the tunnel that led to around Sprigget's home?
Can we switch to the main map? Because that has.
Yeah, that's very hard to navigate.
There's one near the institute, but I don't think it's near.
Yeah, I know. We've used it, but I'm. Yeah, there's one around Sprigget as well. If we go through here and come through here, that's.
Sprigget's
kinda
house
good.
is here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take a while.
I'm
Another
thinking
thing
we
is,
just. I'm thinking if we're at Spigget's house, we just take sort of back streets to the institute.
Yeah.
You know, back alleys rather than the main road.
well, we technically have to get to this wall anyway, so we can just go through the back of it. I think we should probably. Do we know how long a pass without a trace lasts?
I think it's.
I think it's an hour.
We should probably use it until we get there at least.
It's an hour.
Yeah, okay, so maybe once we get towards maybe here-ish, we should probably cast Pass Without a Trace and then get to the point we want to get to and get in touch with our friend.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, worst case is if we can't find him, you can use sending, I guess, and just use your pearl to get the thing back.
Yeah, I've currently haven't used any spell slots, so we are good.
No, I mean, if we find Ben, yeah, that's a good way of getting in contact with him. I mean, we don't even need to actually go up to him then. You can just talk to him.
Yeah.
So, what's happening?
I think we're going to the institute,
Okay.
but from the Leo back streets.
Okay.
And who's gonna cast Pass Without a Trace? Is it you, Baylor? Do you have it?
And I have.
And once we get maybe here-ish, Dax,
Mm-hmm.
Baylor will cast Pass Without a Trace on us, so we can go to the back.
Okay.
Yes, I think just like that sort of route. Just go around back.
All right. Well, following that route, you leave Sprigget's house. It's still mid-morning, a nice crisp air and minimal clouds overhead leaves it to be a somewhat chipper and enjoyable day. Making your way, weaving through some of the streets, being nowhere near as, of course, as dense as the streets of the Scrounge or anything like that. These could be main pathways themselves, given how much space there are between the two houses and in between the buildings. And as you walk by them, all of them genuinely are really magnificently built. You can really tell why this is the uppers. Making your way around, you come.
One little thing
Mm-hmm.
before it's late. I'd like to keep my eyes peeled in order to see whether someone's tailing us or whether someone is keeping watch or might.
Then
you
roll
know,
me a
catch us.
perception check, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to reroll it with lucky point,
Okay.
or should I not?
I'd probably save it for like.
Yeah.
persuasion.
Okay. I'll just leave it.
Right then.
Persuasion checks.
Yeah, I mean, like if you get caught with somebody inside, you can blab your way through it, maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
Making your way around, you keep your eyes peeled and looking around. There's a good amount of people about, but the kinds of people in this part of the city somewhat keep to themselves, and you feel confident that there's no one tailing you. Making your way down, you get to this point where you've agreed that Baylor was going to cast Pass Without a Trace. Baylor, are you going to do so?
I am.
Okay, mark off a spell slot. And with that, everybody make me a group stealth check, please. And add 10 for Pass Without a Trace. So that's a 22, a 31, a 14, 26, and a 26. And that was...
Zinni.
Oh, and Zinni as well. Let me do that for her, of course. Stealth. That's a 19 for Zinni, and it
19,
was
yeah.
a 21 for Carnellen.
Hmm.
Andros moving deftly as the knight itself, silently and somewhat acting like a guide in this situation, starts to guide you along the walls of the Zenith Institute. Something does catch your eye, Anxi. As you begin to make your way around, you spot a familiar figure of blue and greyish tinted skin leaning up against this building here. Jay, can you get in the call, please, as you have spotted Levant leaning up against the wall?
Yes,
Levant?
yes, I was wondering when you would all get here.
Why are you here?
I suppose it seems interesting.
And are you sure you haven't been spotted by people?
Nobody's made a fuss of it so far.
I suppose. Please be careful. We don't really know what might happen. Do you know where Nyx is?
Well, they're certainly around, but honestly, I have no idea. I know they got up onto the roofs, but they, I can assure you, are making every effort not to be seen.
And that's good. Do you have any means of contacting them?
Not personally, but it's possible that they've already become aware of you. See Levant just sort of like squinting around at the nearby roofs in the hopes that he can spot Nyx.
I'd like to try and perceive as well, but I highly doubt that would work.
Okay,
Someone
roll
with
a
good
perception.
Guys?
Everyone roll
I-
a perception check. See if you
can
can
tell you
spot
Levant did
Nyx.
not.
Yeah, I definitely don't see him either. Oh!
No, you don't.
Oh, good.
Ooh, does Baylor spot them?
No, I'm afraid.
Ah,
Okay.
rogues, man.
We love roads.
Jay, what is Nyx doing?
Well, I suppose first I'll just quickly see if Nyx has spotted the group. Which I suppose in this case in particular is Sid with the 14, isn't it? Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's some good rogue rolling. You catch an imperceptible movement, but a deliberate one. Maybe 2 roofs over. As a shadow detaches from leaning against a wall and
Hmm.
just makes a slight waving motion.
Is it 30 feet away from us?
I said 2 roofs away, didn't I? Probably not.
So probably not. So it's within 30 feet, right?
No,
I
it's
don't know
not.
how huge these buildings are.
So, Nyx understands language. They just can't speak from it.
Yeah, I can try and use telepathic speech on them if I get close enough.
I will point at Nyx and send a message.
Good.
Okay.
Can you join us? Do you have any updates for us?
Now, am capable of responding. Yeah. I don't know how much you've used this spell before. The response you get back, given that it's supposed to be a whisper anyway, still seems quieter than usual. Yeah, okay. And the figure starts moving towards you. And... well, I mean, let's see how well they jump over the roof, shall we?
Yeah, so from the roof of
Don't
the Zenith
fall,
Institute
please.
down to the roofs of these buildings. 2 acrobatics checks, please.
Okay.
From one roof to the other, and then the roof to the floor.
Maybe we could have
I mean, it would
gone
be
on the
very
build.
funny if I fluffed this, but...
We should potentially try and get on the roof with levitate, shouldn't we? Like you might have to do a bunch of
Okay, I'll just let DM move.
Okay. You watch as this shadow deftly and so gracefully leaps from the roofs of the Zenith Institute and onto the building that you see Levant was leaning up against, and then, without even a hesitation of a sound or as much as like even treating it like not even like a slight inconvenience, drops effortlessly from the roof to the floor with barely a sound, as Nyx has now
Like they're
found their way
weightless.
next to Levant's side.
Like they're weightless, which, given how thin they seem, they probably are.
They're within 30 feet of you now, Anxie.
yeah, I'll use telepathic speech on them. Hello, happy to see you. Have you spotted anything I don't know, interesting or shady or whatnot?
This place, it has 2 faces. Lots of students milling around, normal school. Important looking people going into the buildings at the back. Doesn't look like school.
Yeah. And about the students, are they going near the same buildings the important looking people are? Or are they keeping their distance?
The citizens, did you say? Or the
The students.
They are very much keeping themselves separate, as if it's 2 societies living within
Mhm.
one wall.
What I was trying to understand is whether they were even going near these buildings, whether they're like entering them or not.
Not at all. The students don't even come close to the
Good.
back buildings, and they are pretty much entirely on the lower courtyard.
Okay, I do not think we should be spawning an elemental inside of the courtyard then.
Well,
'cause-
that's perfect if we spawn it in the upper courtyard. The where the statue is, not down by the entrance. Means the only people up here are the high level researchers.
I suppose.
Means there's not going to be any like students walking around as a summoner. They're going to be well away anyway.
There's one little thing that troubles me. The student I'm disguised as, when we asked about Drand, she went to look for him here, which she said were the living quarters and everything, and that's what we know. However, the second student we spoke with, he went here to search for another researcher. So I'm just worried that I might look like someone that was meant to lie to us, and
Oh, you're concerned
the
about your
advantage is if we-
disguise.
If we make the distraction up here, it looks like there's only 2 ways to get up to the upper section.
yeah,
So that's a very good choke point.
I suppose. I'm just worried I look like someone I shouldn't be looking at. Like, that's it. Also, especially if we are dressed like students, me and you, we should probably fix that because it means we don't really have place in the uppers.
Oh, I use disguise self. I currently look like one of the researchers I've seen, like Drams, but my face is that of Dirk.
Of what?
Dirk.
Oh, Dirk. Yeah.
It all comes to you. Full circle. Full Dirkle, if you will.
Oh god.
Okay. Nix, have you seen anyone anyone familiar from the researchers? Have you seen the guy we've spoken with before?
Yeah.
I just
Just finding
use
out.
minor illusion to show basically everyone I've seen before.
I didn't hear.
No sign of Dranth.
And give me a second. I'll put my mask up and we'll try to be quite sneaky with it. And we'll change I'll shapeshift into the root lady. And then that should be rather not noticeable, right? I wouldn't do it if it would be noticeable to
It
people.
would be quite noticeable because she was quite a bit taller and thinner than you.
Also, oh. Right, let me think. Well, it gotta be stupid to think that it's not normal, like, change of visuals. Then, if I go behind a building and do it.
Well, I could just make like a 5-foot like barrier,
Y-
using minor illusion just to can't see through.
To hide me while
She gets chased.
I should ignore the fact that you're suddenly like 2 inches taller.
Okay, I'll use telepathic speech on Andros immediately. Andros, I need a distraction. I need to sneakily transform into someone else. Could you help me with that?
Okay. Yes, I use minor illusion, like a 5-foot barrier, which is black.
I immediately transform.
Jay, roll investigation.
Would he be able to see something? I still
to-
have
to
my
help-
mask on, by the way.
Sure.
The help of a distraction, I bring out my wand of smiles just to get a reaction from
From
I can't
Levant.
remember his name, the other guy. Levant, yeah.
Can I assist in some way, noticing what's going on?
Jay, is that
Is my-
Hold on, Jay, is
I
that
feel like-
Levant or Nyx rolling? Okay,
That's not how you spell that.
so
I'm gonna regret that. I'm really
Levant
gonna regret it.
is sort of like spacing out, just like looking at the building. Really, Nyx, being as quiet as they were, is just always sort of like head pointed slightly down, but keeping an eye on every single one of you.
So
Roll. Oh,
Technically-
you know what? Actually, roll me a stealth check, and pass without a trace is still going, and that's how you can assist Baylor.
okay.
Do you get an advantage with the whole like minor illusion block?
I will give you advantage with it as well. Yes,
All right, and since it's very bad, I'm gonna use a lucky point.
that's a 20
That's-
already.
That's bad though. He's a fucking rogue. He definitely has a good investigation.
Investigation
Like-
is based off of intelligence.
To be fair, he's a rogue who can't talk. But how's
Oh yeah. Sorry. My brain's definitely going to not swash vet. and they were like doubling into wizard and orc. So yeah. You think 20 is fine, guys? Okay.
I think he'll see you transform, but he still needs to put 2 and 2 together to work out, how you're transforming and why.
Oh, I see.
Just because he sees you transform doesn't mean he knows how or why.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Unless
Hold
they've
on.
ever witnessed a changeling transforming, they wouldn't necessarily know what it is anyway.
Yeah, I've done it. I look like the other lady.
Okay.
I remove my mask and look again at Nyx and say, have you seen this woman around?
Next is looking at you quizzically. But ultimately, after a moment. No, I don't believe so.
Yes, you have. I know.
Oh, sorry. It's so much easier when you type these things to me.
I was nodding.
Okay, retcon that then.
Okay.
Can I tell by the look of him whether he's noticed what's happened? Because using quizzically like that is making me very anxious.
I would say even without like an insight check, you can tell that they've realized something happened, but they look
Okay.
quizzical in the sense that they're not fully sure what.
Okay.
If all else fails, like an illusory wall appeared between you for no stated reason, so there is that.
Yeah, I know, but you can't be sure.
Don't worry about the wall, that's just me getting warmed up.
Yeah, the wall was just like a flare. That wasn't anything.
As she says, a flare, my cloak just blows in the wind. Or long wind.
Levon rolls his eyes.
So you've seen that woman. Where exactly? And was she doing anything? Did she seem like she was in a hurry to do something, or whether she was doing anything important? I don't know.
That lady was seen coming out of this entrance, taking a breath of fresh air, taking like 10 minutes to herself, and then heading back in.
So here, like here somewhere.
Fantasy smoke
On
break.
those stairs in the corner.
So she had like a smoke break. Yeah, sure.
Basically.
Okay. I talked to the rest of the team. So the woman I look like currently, she's been seen by Nyx. Seems like she needed a break or something at some point and went out during this entrance. I assume we have a map, right? It's
Yeah.
how else would we? Yeah. So guys, you're here. Talking toward both Levant and Nyx.
Yeah.
Would you like to join us in our pursuit or prison break?
Just before that, you saw Nyx was gesturing something towards Levant, who then pipes up with, "They say you should try to look grumpier. It will help, apparently."
Oh, right. I tried to look as grumpy as she was when I was probing into her mind.
She was fucking pissed when you did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Does that help?
Perhaps she's still kind of pissed. You see
Yeah.
Nyx nod.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen her look exactly like this.
kind of looks like you have to take a shit.
Yeah, Cedric, I might. I feel like it might be coming.
So, following on the question you asked then, Levant here, what is it you're trying to do here? What's the play, as it were?
Currently?
Yes.
Just trying to be as sneaky as possible, enter the place, try to figure out where exactly our friend is. We have a suspicion of her being maybe here, because apparently that's the most secretive place that they might bring prisoners to. And if she's there, possibly get her out of there and teleport out of the place. So yeah, that's literally the plan. We don't really have a proper plan. We're just trying to save her before she dies, possibly. Yeah.
Levant glances at Nyx. And this is important to you. Nod.
It's extremely important to us.
Very important to us.
Like, that question was directed at Nix, but it's fair enough that you
Oh.
answered it well.
Sorry.
Well, let it not be said that I don't do things for my protege.
Protege.
What would you have us do?
So first of all, we know that Nyx is very stealthy. Since you don't seem stealthy, do you have any means of disguising yourself, or I don't know, making yourself rather harder to notice?
Just thinking that look. Because I would love to just turn into Carnelian right now. How beautiful would that be?
That would be so cool, but please do not. Gonna be a waste of spell slot.
Garnellum, by the way, redisguised himself as Dave.
You get the idea there. Not really my thing appearing as other people.
Okay, then I suppose.
I can appear as nothing, though, if it comes to it.
That's good enough as well. How do we go inside though? We could potentially try and get on top of the building, but how the fuck do we get down safely?
I still think this corner is our best bet. 'cause we
Yeah, I
can
think
hide
so
around there.
too. The only issue being that the woman I'm disguised as is basically in here. It's in the entrance that we are gonna use, basically.
Yeah, but if I can draw them outside, the commotion, you can head inside.
Thinking they would care. Yeah, you could definitely. Yeah.
Well, it's less a case of them caring and more
Oh.
them needing to deal with the golems attacking the building.
So, okay, hear me out. We get in. Since the entrance here is, we don't know of someone being in there. We could try and get inside, or at least try to see whether there is someone. In the meantime, you could potentially spawn golems, so they can be distracted with them.
Was that
And
out loud, just to clarify?
huh?
The mentioning the golems, was that out loud?
No. I'm just speaking out of character.
No reason.
It's probably worth
Yeah.
warning them, just in case, just so they're aware.
And
Just warning
to
that
follow from
any
the-
shamblers and golems and things they see, they're not friendly per se, but not actively trying to go them.
Fucking mention shamblers.
No,
When
tell me
I'm
everything.
saying I'm going all out on a distraction, yeah. Go all out.
Yeah, just
Did
to
you
say as
just-
well, one thing Levant will say is, if it comes to getting down from places, that very much is in my wheelhouse. Air is my domain.
Oh, one thing I will do
Right.
as well is if you hear a loud horn sound in your head, that basically means get out, some bad shit's happening.
Can't you just do it in to one person?
I mean, yeah, it will be to you. So, yeah, I can see. I can
Oh,
only do it to one
right.
person at a time. So.
The already mentally unstable one.
Yeah, you can do it to somebody else if you want, but I'm just thinking, if you've entered it, you can then
D&D, we're all
telepathically
mentally unstable.
you can telepathically tell everyone else as well. Yeah, you can relay it.
I'll
silently.
take like just a few seconds telling everyone telepathically, guys, we leave. Guys, we leave. Guys, we leave.
You need to tell one and they start running and then everyone gets the cue.
Yeah. Potentially. Okay, so we try to get in here sneakily. We kind of separate. El goes to the El spawns some friends, and then once we see people getting out, we try and get in. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to. Let's relay it to our friends here, so it's not like a surprise.
I'm having a thought.
Okay, go on.
And this is going to be out of character for now, would summoning a shambler first to draw their attention out, and then earth elementals be a good
Problem is,
idea?
the Shambler's kind of pathetic compared to the elementals.
Yeah, but if it just gets their attention. The reason I'm thinking this is the earth elemental will attack the first thing it sees, right? Or
Okay.
the closest thing to it.
Um,
So if you can get their attention to draw them towards the Shambler, and then get an Earth Elemental out.
That's the idea there. So I summon Shambler. I basically tell it just to act threatening, but don't actively like hurt anyone yet. And then I use Minor Illusion, which allows you to make a loud noise, and I basically make the sound of like people screaming.
just one thing, just so you're aware of it. You want to spawn a Shambler inside of a school in front of people that we don't entirely trust.
Well, yeah, books. I mean, worst cases they go up to Dirk.
Like,
Worst case is we have to kill Nix and Levant at the end of this.
and Carnellan, which I don't think we can.
Yeah, but I mean, we could just not tell them about that part. You know, because I'll be
Well-
off by myself at that point.
They're
Yeah.
gonna fucking see a sham. Well, yeah, if we enter beforehand, yeah. But we're.
I
Are we
mean, the
doing
thing
that?
is, they think the Institute's up to shady shit. They could think the Institute, the Institute made.
It's fine. Just throw up the privacy screen again.
Yeah, doesn't have a label on it.
Sure. I really don't think that's the smartest thing we can do, but if that's what you want to do and put your character in danger, sure.
That sounds fun.
Right. Okay.
I think it's a limited risk, and if it's danger we can deal with after we've dealt with this current situation.
Right. Yeah, sure.
I mean, for Shambler wise, I can dismiss that myself. Obviously, we might need to deal with the elementals if they kill everyone or something. But
Eh,
my only concern is if they can take down the barrier and have guards come in. But obviously, we don't want to kill the guards.
it will take a few turns, so we would be already inside potentially, so it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion.
Okay, if you guys act fast, then should be okay. I mean, with a choke point, we can slow them down, like on those stairs.
Yeah, and that's with us thinking that they might get out and do stuff. Is it worth before doing any of that for someone to go here maybe and check whether there is someone inside this part of the building to see whether it's actually safe for us to get there before you cause all the destruction?
Well, I presume we could send Nix ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So our current plan is to get to the Institute from here, guys. There will be a distraction caused by one of us. The rest will try and sneak in through this entrance here, and then get to the basement we know of, which is supposed to be here. And that's with us here. And that's with us thinking that the people that are anywhere near these points would be interested enough to get out of there and deal with the distraction. So we would possibly have some time to get to the point we want to get to. However, there's one little thing. We are not certain that if we try to enter from here, it would be safe for us. So I use telepathic speech on Nix. Would you feel safe trying to stake out this place here, see whether there's anyone inside or potentially whether if something happens in the middle of the yard, they would exit from this place?
Can do that. Will it
Okay.
be? How long do you want me to watch before you do something?
One sec. Nix, I will tell you that in the time that you've spent spying, you've seen that almost everyone has come out through this entrance, and this entrance. And that there was only
Well, that's
one
out.
singular person that came out of this entrance, and they just walked away and left and went over to probably the living quarters area.
I
Quick
can say
question,
that.
Dax, as well, just in the meantime. The wand,
Mhm.
when Spriggan identified it, did we find out how
No.
far it can work?
I
Its range on it.
believe it was 30 feet.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I don't know about taking out in front of it, Nix, but I was thinking more of trying to see whether there's someone inside currently. Is that something you're able to do without causing any trouble for yourself?
I can do that, but as I say, it's like glancing at Levant here. If I went invisible for, say, an hour, how could I do that now and it not turn into a problem?
What do you mean by that?
If I'm staking out the entrance and looking inside, would I still be invisible for enough time after doing that?
Is this all going to wrap up within an hour?
You mean the whole thing, the prison break? Potentially. That's something we would like to do within an hour, for sure. So if you get to be invisible now, go check the place, tell us what you find as fast as possible, and then we can enter while you're still invisible, and some of us are probably invisible as well, and deal with the whole thing. It should be fine. However, our means of exiting the place are currently by teleportation. So if you're trying to keep your invisibility regardless, just to get out of there as safely as possible, we have other means of doing so.
I think we have a way out as well.
Which is?
He's looking at Levant and then starts making a couple of hand signals, which he clearly recognizes and nods with a slight roll of his eyes before coming over. Resting a hand on their shoulder, which is somewhat down because he's like nearly a foot taller than them. And then both of them go invisible.
And that's something that Nix did, or Levant? Could I tell?
Looked like Levant did it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, can we show them on the map the entrance to one of to the cave network, and basically say if shit hits the fan, we try and meet up there?
Where?
The entrance to the cave network. It's nearby.
Yes. You,
If all-
do we
all
want
hell
to tell
breaks-
them about the cave?
I'm just thinking if all hell breaks loose, they're going to need to escape as
Escape.
well. Yeah.
Is everyone fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
mean, we don't have to say there's a cave there. Just say meet up here and point on the map, and they'll
Okay.
realize a cave's there if they end up going there.
Yeah, okay. Good. I was just making sure. Are we ready then? Well, is Nix then gonna go check quickly? Or
I guess you have to assume that they have.
oh, so I assume they've done it.
You've still got
okay.
mental connection with Nix if you want to speak to them.
Oh, by any chance, did you already go there?
I think. What's the range on this? Because it's probably like
30
as
feet.
leaving. Just
No. The connection lasts indefinitely, but you have to be in 30 feet to establish it.
Oh, yeah,
and
to
it
establish
lasts
it,
for a
yeah.
couple of minutes after you've lost line of sight.
well, that's much more helpful.
Yeah.
A little pause, and then here should be good. I'm in position.
Okay, I believe we can communicate for a while longer, so if you see anything or anything's troubling you, please let us know.
Fun.
I feel the
two
need.
two things from my side. Can I just make sure that I've got like enough pebbles, basically, just picking up stuff off? the
Yeah,
ground?
there's like even
Like-
like little pebbles around the ground that you can see as
20
well.
pebbles or so.
Yeah.
Just to be safe, yeah.
Bless you.
So Jay,
Yes.
Levant and Nix are now up on the wall of the Zenith Institute. You can talk openly. What are you doing?
Okay, well, the request was that Nyx go in to the
Yeah.
building and just sort of look around. So I very gently will do that. Levant will hang back a little bit because this is certainly more Nyx's field.
Okay, so you are coming up to the entrance that you've agreed on, and you're opening the door.
Yes.
Uh,
Ever so slowly, like a breath of wind.
roll stealth for both Nyx and Levant for me, please, with advantage because you're invisible.
Okay.
Watch this be a 1.
He's rolling in his own
Uh,
client, so it doesn't show up here. You just tell me what they are.
That's a 17 for Nyx, which is quite possibly the lowest they've rolled so far on a stealth check. And then the one I'm actually worried about. Oh, no, 20 for Levant for 22.
Okay. Nyx gently comes and approaches the door. Now, the Voidstone, I haven't fully described what it looks like when you're up close to it. It's very similar in look to Obsidian, in that when you look at it, like flatly, it looks like it could be cut and bumpy as you look at it, in that like it's still pretty flat, but it looks like there's like slight indentations on each other as it sort of like forms a jewel-like substance, a jewel-like surface, but upon touching it, it is actually completely flat. It's quite glossy. It's very, very black, in that like if you didn't have the sort of like prism-like feature to it, it would look like a void that you would stare into. It's hard to see that it's a surface without that sheen. And as you come up to it, the door itself is also made of voidstone. You pull and open the door. Immediately inside, there is a small room with another door. Very small room, like a coat room when you first come into a house.
Unoccupied, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Nyx will stalk in and first and foremost just sort of investigate the structure of the wall that this door is in, the door itself, and try and formulate an opinion on where it would be likely to go, just based on the structure and layout and all of these things. And also maybe a little listen as to if there's any sound or movement behind it.
What do you mean where it would be likely to go?
Well, I've been up on the buildings.
Well, you've also seen the floor plan from the Wayward Wanderers as well. They've sort of like
fair.
shown you the map
Fair
as you were
enough.
pointing at entrances.
Can someone just ping on the map? It's the bottom left one. Where
Yes.
There we go. So. Okay. And, like, to clarify, the door itself, any sound, movement, anything about this door suggesting I'm going to walk into someone if I open it.
The further indoor, so are you stepping inwards? As soon as you step a foot into the building, a little magical sound starts, and a wisp comes in front of you. A little sparkling wisp. And it starts writing, and leaving sort of like a trail behind. So in like a joined up handwriting, it reads a message to you.
Hmm.
Please keep all doors closed for research purposes. And in a couple seconds after the message has lingered, just fades and disappears.
Okay.
So
I'm
you,
assuming Levant saw that from outside.
Yeah.
The thing is, they can't see each other. Always fun.
is Nyx going to close the door or keep it open for the time being?
Nyx, invisibly rolling their eyes a little bit at that message, will go to shut the door, and then probably feel Levant start forward and just come in before it actually closes.
Okay. As the door closes, Anxie, you feel a separation in your telepathic speech, and you can no longer reach them.
I felt that, and I know for sure that's happened, right?
Yes.
All right, I can no longer speak to them. They're probably inside.
Okay, should we head over then?
I don't know.
Nixon
the idea was for
Levant.
them to check.
You are in a very, very small room with this other door in front of you now. So you were rolling perception to see if you can hear anything on the other side.
Sure. I am going to. Yeah. I'm going to do something with that roll. That's better. 19.
With a 19, you press your ear up gently to the door, and you don't hear any sound on the other side.
And is there any indication that it is locked, sealed, or, for that matter, although I can't imagine it necessarily would be trapped?
Is it regular perceptions for finding traps? It is, right?
I think it's investigation for traps.
Roll investigation then.
Hmm. 22.
Okay.
Oh man.
You carefully look over the door, and you definitely can't see any traps of such. And the door itself looks decently well used. It's like a little scuffed on the handle, as rudimentary as the handle is, with the entire door being made of stone. You can just see like places where people's nails have like scratched it a little bit. You get the feel that this entrance is somewhat commonly used, just as a regular coming and going. Are you opening this door?
Yes.
You open the door, gently peeking past, and you see a long corridor that eventually turns at a sharp and obtuse angle. It's at this point that you realize this drawing by Spriggett is slightly wrong in that this corridor that was going all that way is matching with the corridor that's leading straight to your little coat room. There are 2 doors on your left and 1 door on your right, leading to the 2 rooms that are on your left and 1 on your right comparatively. But the corridor just carries on, and you don't see anyone down to the other end.
Where exactly is he now?
So he's just like right here, basically. This line that goes along here is a corridor, actually. Spriggtt's just drawn this wrong. It wasn't me that drew it wrong, it was Spriggett. So like basically this corridor here is basically carrying all the way up to here as well.
The same one.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it still sharply turns at that angle. So you can see
Right.
all the way down. You can see all the way down to the end of that angle. And the other 3 doors that you can see as well are also firmly closed.
Since no one is around, like, just an interaction between these two. Levant just hissing. Are you sure about this? And then there's a pause. Right, I can't see if you gesture right now. Let's have a look down the corridor and approach these like offshoot doors, just based on the building, are probably like relatively self-contained areas. Do they have the sort of? This is such a complex question to ask. Do they have the vibe of quarters, or is it lecture rooms or storage or?
You cannot tell. The Wayward Wanderers know that this place was originally built as a prison, with this place likely being the place where the prisoners were kept, as they were completely encased in voidstone. These doors are somewhat rudimentary with their handles, but always come completely flush in the door frame so that they form a solid wall.
And no bars, suffice to say, so not immediately obvious that potentially prison cells.
Leaving any holes in the doors for bars to be used would mean that magic could get
Jeopardise the
inside the
inside.
room.
Let me just assess someone's options here. Okay, reasonable. Well, let's see what's behind door number 1 then, shall we?
So the first door on your left.
Yes.
As you quietly and gently open it, The room inside is
Probably only
revealed.
Tricking it, honestly.
Whereas the entire corridor, wall, ceiling, and floor was all voidstone, as soon as you open into this door, into this room here, you notice that the walls and floors immediately change to wood. And just having like an eye of your perspective currently, it seems that the voidstone completely encases the corridor itself and any rooms to the right of it. Once you go into rooms on the left, it looks like they just transfer to regular materials. Looking into this room, you can see it's a pretty small room. There's some a couple of different tables with some papers on them. Some's got some like little glass vials on these tables, and some just empty chairs.
Okay. Puts me in mind of a research desk. That door can close again after being cricked and seamlessly merge back in, but that is a point. Seems like the right side of this hallway is the more interesting one. First door on the right, and this whole, like, black magic null tunnel is jangling the nerves a bit, so we're being really careful about opening this door.
Okay.
A breath of fraction, a crack to peer through.
As you ever so slightly open this door, your suspicions are confirmed that the entirety of the room on the right, wall, floor, and ceiling, is all voidstone. This room, being considerably bigger, is much more empty. It's split into different places. There's a lot more. There's a lot of tables as well. That is this one that we're doing here, by the way. And a lot of similar to what you've seen before, except one unique thing this time is that you see a couple of bird cages on these tables. Empty, but you see them. You don't have a full view of the room because you have just opened it a crack, but that is what you can see looking forward with that crack.
Yeah. And the impression is of an empty room, I would imagine.
You can't tell for certain.
Oh, that is a good observation on the map. Okay.
How long has it been?
Only
They're
like
being-
2 or 3 minutes.
They're being quite slow and cautious with this.
Yeah, fair. I'm just worried if you get
So
caught.
it's been 2 or 3 minutes since your connection was severed. What are you guys doing, Wayward
That's a
Wanderers?
question, certainly.
I think we're heading over the wall, I think.
I believe it's probably a good idea. Once we lost connection to them, we got worried because 2 minutes a long time in such
I mean,
a
we didn't hear
situation.
any shouting or anything, so it didn't seem like it.
I don't think we would have, even if something happened.
We're pretty close to where the door is.
Guys, do I know that Baylor casted message on Nyx earlier?
Yeah, and you've probably told each other what spells you guys have.
Okay. Baylor, could you try to message them again? Maybe they're simply taking their time. I'm getting worried. I have no connection to them, and we can't be certain of that they haven't been captured.
Of course.
I mean, the message would have the same issue, wouldn't it?
I think so, but
Yeah.
try.
Yes, but
Yes,
we
it
don't
can,
know.
so-
Yeah, Baylor, as soon as you cast message and you send your little words out, it immediately hits a wall.
I'm trying to reason myself why we should go after them. That's why I asked him to do the message thing.
They were just checking if the coast is clear, right?
Yeah.
It's been 2 or 3 minutes. Surely they should be back by now.
Or at least we should have been able to connect with them.
I mean, the
It's
lack
been
of
more than
contact
3 minutes.
is to be expected. We know there's void stone in the buildings. Yeah.
Yeah, we know, but the idea was for us to, get worried for them not being back, because we are literally just standing out, and we don't know whether they're all outside now or not. So it was just, an attempt to reason myself why we should go after them.
Well, either way, like, if they haven't been called, we need to head over, and if they have been called, we need to head over and help them out. So.
Okay, guys, so we should probably start moving there, and Andros will deal with the distractions. We still have Pass Without a Trace, right?
We do.
Okay, and how are we all entering? So, can we all enter with Levitate? Which you levitate us?
I cast Levitate on myself, and I guess I just ferry you up one at a time.
I think Dex has just gone for a quick bio break.
Oh yeah. So in the meantime, we get inside. We try to get in to the building sneakily while Andros is causing a distraction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to immediately cause a distraction. I need to set some things up first.
Can we
But-
just run all the way in, get Gwen, and run all the way out while Dax isn't around, and when he comes back, we can just.
Yeah. We're definitely
save
doing
the
that. We found her already, and we're
Well,
on
I
our
mean,
way
now,
back.
now Dax isn't here. My plan is not to summon Golem straight away, to send the Scrambler inside to wreck the place and then head back outside to draw them out. And I'm going to use the
Okay.
explosion that the one does on the rocks to basically take out all researchers. I'm going to have the pebbles planted on the ground already, ready to go.
You're how many things are you gonna spawn?
Yes.
So I'm going to put a lot of pebbles around, but they're going to be 5 feet apart from each other, and I'm going to summon as many as I need. So I'll start with one, and if a bunch of people come out, I'll have to summon more.
Right. Let's not summon more than 3, and maybe summon more if it seems like they're too easy for them.
Oh yeah, the 20 pebbles are just
Yeah,
spread
'cause-
them around, because things I want to basically be able to summon them where I need them, rather than just next to me sort of thing. I won't be summoning 20 golems. Don't worry.
Love that that's what Dex comes back to. I won't be summoning 20 golems.
Okay, right, okay, thankfully.
Good to know.
So, have you guys decided on how you are getting in?
With the help of Levitate, and we'll be trying to. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, getting in wise would be levitating them in one by one.
Okay, for the first time in a while, Carnellon pipes up. Me and the big guy could dimension door in, and you could probably carry the 2 girls by yourself, right?
We can give it a go, yeah.
Well, we were trying to spare ourselves some spell slots, but you could definitely do that.
I mean, it's two less trips.
I mean, it lets us all go over in one go.
True.
Hold on. You're
Hmm?
telling me this guy's gonna use magic on me?
No,
It's
buddy,
gonna be helpful.
I'm gonna use magic on us. Just a little teleport to the other side of the wall, that's all. And then
Alternatively, you could jump over if you want to, Trick.
I swear, it just makes me fucking dance.
I promise. No dancing.
And I kind of like a long stare down McCannellan.
He just smirks at you the whole time.
Alright, well, your funeral if I dance is all I'm saying. Fine.
Sid, roll me an insight check.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Can I do one as well? I'm just curious.
Nope.
Ah,
Okay.
not bad.
It doesn't beat a 33 though.
Well, yeah, obviously,
So don't
but
worry.
not bad for someone with 0.
Carnellon moment.
So Carnellon just smirks at you. And he holds out his hand. Just need to hold my hands for 5 seconds.
Roll for strength.
I was going to say, you shouldn't have said that.
Go for it.
Oh, not the bard handshake again.
Oh
Feared
my
by
god.
bards
Roll a
everywhere.
d4 damage. A d4 plus your strength modifier, so d4 plus 4. So 5 points of damage as you
While I shake his hand,
while you
I
crumple Carnellon's
return-
hand.
I returned the little smirk that he gave me before.
You watch as his eye winces ever so slightly, and you guys both disappear and appear on the other side of the wall, right next to a door.
Would he be able to levitate the three of us together?
Yeah, Zinni could probably just like go on his shoulders, and you can just hold onto his waist as he climbs up the side of the wall or
Baylor?
something. Oh, and Baylor? Yeah, Baylor, sure. Up to 500, as long as he can.
Zinni and I are very light.
Andros, roll
Should be
me a athletics check just to see how long this takes, because you're gonna do it. It's just a matter of how long. Okay, 12. It takes you probably about like 2 or 3 rounds with, and you are able to climb up and slowly lower each other down on the other side.
If it takes too long, I wouldn't be able to react quick and just misstep out of there.
Can the
Wait, it
4
is-
of you roll me a group stealth check, please? Sid, not you.
We still have Pass Without a Trace.
We do.
Yeah, you guys have Pass Without a Trace because you're Baylor with you.
1. So 29. Can you roll better for Zinni, Dax?
Hey! Is
I mean,
what
to
it
be fair,
is.
we are literally floating up a wall.
I love how the heavy armor is like by far the best.
Yeah, what the fuck? 2 18s? God damn.
So that's 3 successes and 3 failures. I assume.
Oh, it depends what we're rolling against. We have +10 as well, so.
But a natural one counts as 2 failures.
Yeah.
So, you guys clamber yourselves over. Andros, as you crest over the wall, you see all the students. They're down in the lower courtyard, and you actually see none of the researchers. Way down into the distance of the courtyard, you see a student looking in your direction. As you slowly clamber down, you don't necessarily see them reacting, but you have the feel that you've been spotted.
Okay, let's get to work then.
All of you are now on the other side, right out the front of the door.
In the corners, is there any sort of dim light?
There is, yeah. Just with
Right,
because
just
the
go-
shadows from the sun, because the sun is south of here.
Can I just go into the corner and go invisible and then head out?
Sure.
So I just head towards the main, like where the statue is, that entrance.
Okay. Are the rest of you funneling through the door in the meantime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we tell whether we've been spotted?
You can't, and Andros hasn't mentioned anything. Everyone roll me a group stealth check again. With Andros, you'll now, because it's a very different action, climbing as into like gently walking. Roll me another one stealth check. You will not
I'll
be part of the
reroll.
group, but you're rolling as well.
Okay. I used a lucky point. I'll just add it up to my notes. So it's 19.
So, Sid, this does include you, and it does include Carnellon as well. That's a 18 for Carnellon, 17, 15, natural 1 for
We-
Baylor.
We still got Pass Without a Trace.
You do, so it's plus 10 to all of that. So,
Yeah. Got 19.
as you are opening the door and walking through, Andros, you're tiptoeing towards the statue. Sid, you come into the door first, and everyone shuffles past you quietly. You watch as Baylor's the last one to get through, and poof, kicks his foot on the door frame and starts to tumble in, but you reach out your arm and catch him in time to prevent him from making a loud noise.
Thank fuck.
just barely saving the
big
group
guy.
from causing a massive kerfuffle. Immediately as you all enter, by the way, several wisps start writing out the same message right in front of your faces that you all just walk through and immediately disapparates that says, please keep all doors closed for research purposes.
That's not creepy at all, okay?
I'll
I-
close the door behind us.
Okay. Andros, you are now out in the courtyard, fairly close to the statue.
Okay, as I'm heading towards the statue, I'd like to start dropping pebbles. I'm just going to mark where I drop them, if that's okay.
Slowly placing them on the ground as you go along. They blend in fairly well. There's a couple of pebbles already here, just from kicked up stones, like stones where people have sort of like accidentally scuffed the floor a bit.
That's where I'd like to drop pebbles.
Okay.
Kind of make my way around in a bit of a circuit. And as well, while I'm doing that, can I see if main entrance doors are open or closed?
The main entrance door is currently closed. This building at the front here, it is a nice wooden building, and though the purple roof still continues and is the same material, you notice that it's very different to the void stone that you saw at the front at the other door. So this is a nice wooden door.
Okay, do I have more time, or you continue the group?
You still have some more time to yourself. What do you want to do?
Okay, can I head towards the door?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone around, like outside? Visible from
Outside on the top courtyard? Actually, no.
Okay, good. So I open the door slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try and be fairly quiet.
Your stealth
then
check
I
still
s-
carries, so that's fine.
Yeah, I then summon a shambler at the door,
Okay.
then whisper my command to it.
So, as you summon a shambler, you see a big, meaty, and watery hand clamber itself out of the ground, followed by another, and it starts to slowly pull and push itself up out of the ground as you see snarling before you a decently large eldritch shamble, standing at about 6 foot but a bit wider and a bit more girthier and muscly than normal. A sort of like a shell, like a big sort of clamshell acting as some sort of pauldron on its one side, and its other arm at the elbow splitting into several tentacles. A somewhat humanoid face, but sort of like very melted, and with like a second mouth growing underneath the first one. A toothy maw with teeth jagged and pointing in different directions, and it just stands there. What command do you whisper it?
I tell it to go through those doors, make a mess, and once somebody sees you, draw them out here.
Roll a d20, I believe you have to do for commands on your shamblers, right? I believe that means it fails, right?
Do you have inspiration?
I'm sorry, I'm just checking.
I'm pretty sure it's 1 to 5 it fails.
Okay, well, so that does fail, I think. I shrug, and is there a dark corner
So-
I can see within 30 yards?
As you give it command, you watch as its head sort of tilts and twists and looks around, but can't see you because you're invisible. You watch as it sort of like smacks its arm against the door that opens and makes a big noise. The rest of you hear this as well as this happens, and you immediately hear a scream from the inside of the building, and the creature sort of like tries to push towards it and gets stuck in the door frame and is just sort of like squeezing its way through.
Well, this works. I just slowly and quietly move away back towards where the statue is
Okay.
and just wait.
So it's there scrambling and it eventually shoves its way through, sort of like breaking a bit of the door frame, the wooden door frame on its way in. And you just hear 2 screams now from the inside.
I believe that's our cue to get in and find the rest of us. How do you guys feel? Do you want to be rather even stealthier? I could possibly
Just
make.
before we switch back to you guys, Andros, what are you continuing to do as this sort of like all starts playing out?
As it's playing out, I'm waiting near the statue. I'm basically keeping an eye on to see if anyone comes from the lower courtyard, and waiting to see if anyone comes outside.
You watch as the loud noise happens. You attracted the attention of quite a lot of the students. They're looking up in your direction, and as they've heard a scream, one or two students is walking towards the stairs to see what's up. The rest are starting to walk away.
Okay, to discourage people from coming up to see what's going on, can I also use this? So we find.
You currently look like a researcher, correct?
I'm currently invisible. I do look like a researcher.
Yeah.
So can I use that as well on the stairs?
Yes, you can. So they are coming. There were two friends that started walking together and started walking up the stairs, and you spawn a tentacle at the top of the stairs, I assume?
Yeah, sort of in the middle. So.
I see that. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Sure. As soon as it spawns in there, are you letting the kids get closer? Or are you doing it as soon as you notice them walking this way?
I'm doing it as soon as I notice them. I don't want it to attack
Okay.
them. I just
The
want it
moment they
to
see it,
dissuade
before they
them.
even get to the stairs, one of them yelps and they both turn and run.
I just want to discourage people from coming up here.
Several screams still now are coming from inside the building ahead of you, and you watch as a researcher comes bounding out of the door frame that's now broken and is now out in the courtyard, panting and looking back towards inside the building.
Is it anyone I recognise?
No.
Okay,
They're
does it
clad
look
in
like they're
some
running away,
thin,
or-
like some nicely trimmed black clothes, pretty nondescript, but they're not one of the two researchers that you know what they look like.
Okay, I won't do anything unless he starts heading over in the direction our guys are. As long as he doesn't head over in this direction.
Okay. So, going
So
back
as
to
soon as soon as I see him heading over in that direction. Actually, is he heading in that direction or not?
they're currently just stood at like this dot here at the moment, and they basically stood right on top of the pebble, and they're just like looking towards the door, panting and sort of freaking out at the giant monstrosity they see.
Okay, so in that case, I'm just still waiting.
Okay. The inside team. You've heard a kerfuffle, a big bang, and a scream. What is it that you're doing?
I believe we've closed the door.
Mhm.
Once we've seen the wisps, okay. Well, guys, I believe that's our cue. We should probably move along and find the rest and try to find Gwen. Do any of you want to be even sneakier than currently are? I could potentially make two of you invisible. No? Okay.
I don't know. I think let's just try and be sort of sneaky and find our other two friends. Our new friends.
Yeah, I mostly said it because you rolled a natural one. Because you're rolling at disadvantage, so I was like, maybe I can help
It
out.
would
but
even
yeah,
out
sure.
the disadvantage.
Well, if you're fine with it, no problem then. Okay.
I will wild shape.
Ooh, what are you going to wild shape into?
Stealthy cat.
Okay. What color cat?
Considering where we are, a black cat.
However,
Being able to
Are
blend
you-
in very easily with the scenery, you turn into a black cat.
yeah. However, guys, I really don't want any of these to go back to us and haunt us. So I will turn the rest of us invisible, the ones that cannot cover themselves. Hence, I'm gonna touch both Zinni and Cedric and make them invisible.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my twin spell for it. And yeah.
All right. Are you coming through the door out of the little cloakroom now?
And I'm trying to. Well, I bet we are all trying to perceive our other two teammates.
Levant and Nyx, you hear the door open behind you. And in a couple seconds of terror, you turn around and see it's your new teammates.
Good. I was just thinking we should turn around, but it's surprisingly hard to communicate with Nyx when you can't see them.
Right.
And
Well,
but you know.
I assume you've heard already the scream. I think that was our cue, and we should probably try and find the.
Can't wait to
The
see what you
prison?
did. Sounds spectacular.
I did nothing.
So, you start moving down along the corridor.
It's just explaining briefly as well. It's the right rooms that seem to be using this material.
Okay.
The left one's more in line with storage. Either that or they ran out of whatever this weird black rock is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get going then. I assume we're all trying to be stealthy, even after that, and we are going into the next room.
Okay. Which next room? This one or this one?
No, the one to the right, the ones that
Okay.
are actually Voidstone.
You're going to come up to the corner first. Everyone there, roll me a group stealth check, please. And Zinni will be rolling with advantage because of invisibility.
So is Cedric. He's invisible as well.
So, Sid, when
Roll
you're
again.
rolling, you can click the drop down and change it to advantage, but yeah, just roll a second one. Okay, so you're at 22, Zinni's at 24, Anxie's at 15.
I'm at 15.
My roll would just be a normal roll at this point,
Okay.
because I'm a cat.
Yeah, so ooh, nice.
By assuming
Nice.
Levant and
That's two
Nyx, what are you
successes.
rolling with advantage?
What a world. That's a 9 for Levant and a natural 20 for a 29 with Nyx.
39, actually, because plus 10, you're in the...
Oh, yes, okay, so 19 and 39.
No, I did actually read the spell. It's the people I choose when I cast the spell.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't... Okay, good on you for reading that. So, you guys make
Just
your
have to
way
look like
along, Baylor taking point, deftly and silently prowling as a cat. You poke your head around the corner. So this is a very, very long corridor. You can see all the way to the other end here. And you actually see a couple of people who don't notice you at all because they come out of this room and this room, scrambling out, immediately making sure to close the doors behind them, running to the central point here, and then running up towards the front.
Do we recognize any of them?
Baylor does not recognize any of them.
Okay.
Oh, Baylor can't speak.
No, I can't.
You could telepathically speak with
should I-
Lanxi.
Okay. I used a bad speech on the cat. Did you see anything?
Yes. There were two people. They've run out towards the front.
Should
I
we
think-
maybe inform Andros, or do you think he's fine?
I don't know if we can inform him. I think he's fine for now.
Actually, use sending, but yeah.
Just a reminder, like if I'm not fine, I've got the horn.
Yeah, true.
He will call us, I'm sure.
Okay.
It seems like his distraction is working though.
A reminder to you,
Um,
Anxie, because I didn't describe it when you were in it, but when Levant and Nyx are in it, the Voidstone coats all of the corridors and the rooms to the right.
All right. So the corridor as well. Huh.
Hence why you couldn't hear Levant and Nyx as they entered.
Yeah. I got it. I turn to the rest and I try to be extremely silent in my attempt to tell them that people are running out and we should probably get going.
Okay. As you start to creep around the corner of this completely straight corridor, there's nothing that you could hide behind. It is just a completely empty corridor that looks daunting as all hell. Sometimes like a little bit of light will glisten off of the glossy and, again, somewhat jeweled surface of the void stone, but it looks ominous, like just a pathway down into the middle of nowhere, as if you were to stare into the void itself.
That's here?
I mean, staring down the entire corridor.
Like the entire... Okay, yeah. So until here somewhere.
You all just round the corner here, and you begin making your way down. There is a door to your right, another door to your left here, and then a door here, and another left into here. Another left into here, and then a central door here for the middle room.
Is that the room I saw somebody run out of?
You saw someone run out of this room and this room.
Got it.
Out of character, do you think it's worth going towards the central room that we know probably has the prison? Or should we check every right room beforehand?
Seeing as somebody ran out of this one right room, I think it's worth checking it. But other than that, I don't think we should go past the middle room, because that's where we know is a way down to the basement as well, right?
Yeah. And we don't see Nyx either, right?
No.
Invisible.
Okay.
Has Nyx gone ahead at this point? I imagine their stealth check, no one could even perceive them. Would they have
Now
run
the
ahead on their
group's
own, or are they
together.
sticking with the group?
Now the group's together, they're not like pressing on much beyond them. But good luck knowing that. No.
A quick question, Dax. If my Shambler is taken out, will I know about it? Can I sense it?
You'll probably just hear it, because it's causing a lot of chaos. It's bashing and smashing everything, and you can hear spells going off in that room.
Okay,
Wait
so when
for the
it's when the
spells.
when the sound stops, then okay, good.
So, where are you guys going?
Well, towards the next room we can see to the right.
This one?
I assume so.
Okay.
Can anyone stealthier than me try and check it? Because some of you roll at advantage.
I'll do it, says Zinni. She comes up and opens the door. Baylor, I'm assuming you're saddling up alongside her to get your head in and peek.
Yeah.
So you and Zinni both peek into this room, and you see... As you peek your heads in, another empty room. Some more tables on this one, but this one you can see a bit more of a sort of like a research desk area that's like sort of cubbied and like got desk and space around it. And you see something very peculiar. It's sort of like a big, I don't want to say homemade, but sort of like an unusual sort of like microscope with big sort of magnifying glasses that you can bring over and magnify your vision. And it's got like a big silver tray under it. And this silver tray has on it this something moving. It looks like a slab of greyish flesh that still sorts of like undulates and moves ever so slightly. There's no body in this room, but that's the one thing out of anything that really grabs your eye.
Does the flesh look similar to Shambler flesh?
It does.
Kind of wish I was inside now.
Yeah.
I have a cat, so I can't really say anything. Does anyone need to?
You've still got connection with
You
Anxie.
got telepathic speech connection
do.
with me.
Oh, there's nothing in this room that we're after at the moment. But there is interesting things here. There's some sort of something, a device. a big device. I don't know what it does, but there's what looks like shamblerfish
Inside
on
of
a
it.
silver tray.
That's troublesome.
Zinni slowly closed the door and just sort of like leans up against the door and says, "It's proper fucked, that is."
Yeah, that's not the room we're looking for. And I'll start moving forward to the next room.
Andros, from the outside, a couple of screams and pants and random shoutings of directions and moving. You hear one final and you hear the burning of fire, and you hear no more smashing.
Okay. In that case, am I able to use the wand while I'm invisible?
Yeah, because it's not necessarily an attack action or anything.
Okay. And is that guy still standing near the pebble?
He is.
Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is I won't use the pebble. I'll move over to the left over here, just so I'm not next to the statue, and I will try and use the wand on the statue.
Okay. Because I have to ask this every time you use the wand. What do you want the statue to look like as you meld the stone?
It well, if it does meld stone, it'll meld into a giant statue of Dirk.
As you hold your wand and cast it in the direction of the statue, you watch as the statue starts to rumble slightly and starts to move and shift. As you see standing there proudly, where previously it was a somewhat of like a magical looking person with a very pompous wizard hat, there now stands in all his 5'4" glory, balding on top and on the sides, weirdly enough, Dirk, with a big ass grin on his face and hands on his hips.
Okay, in that case, can I wait 6 seconds and try again?
You do, and Dirk immediately explodes.
Oh,
He had a
Dirk.
good run.
Yeah.
And from
I thought
those
that
rocks,
just adds to the distraction, you see.
an earth elemental starts to spawn and grumble. The person immediately turns around and looks in horror as the statue that probably meant something has been completely obliterated, and this big rocky monstrosity starts to grow in front of their very eyes. What are you doing now?
I'm just still off to the side, making sure I'm well out of the way, between it and the entrance.
The guy starts to stumble back slightly,
I'm over here.
turns his head and screams, "Guys! There's something else out here!" And two more people come rushing out of the doorway, and you watch as one of them just, shit! And they start heading towards and start spreading out and around this rocky monster that locks eyes with them and starts to charge at one of them.
As they're doing that, am I in range to use it on this pebble?
Even if you aren't, you can easily get there. By that point, that'll be
I
actually
move.
behind one of the people as well.
Yeah, I move close enough and I use it on that pebble as well.
Okay. Another explosion and another rock starts to
dear
form.
God.
And then I go back to where I'm marked on the map and just wait there. Trying to be out of the way of everything.
As these screams happen, you watch as one person runs inside and calls again for help and genuinely just screams. And as they come out and begin to combat it again, like a minute passes, and like as they're combating, slinging spells and blinking to avoid damage, you watch as the tall elven lady, thin and still maintaining proper form, comes out of the front door and starts waving her hand in a dismissive and annoyed way as she casts complete blasts of fire at this rock and starts to singe it. One
Where
of
is she
them
standing?
is... So she's in the doorway, just standing in the doorway. The first rock elemental is dealt with pretty quickly. The second one starts to get unloaded into.
As she comes out, I move closer and use it on the one in the center.
You
Okay.
get an Earth Elemental, and you get an Earth Elemental. Everyone
You all
gets
get
Earth
'em.
Elementals.
Well, it's like I've only got so many pebbles. You guys need to hurry up.
As you use your wand and cast it once more, poof, the rock blows up, and you hear a crackle and a as your wand snaps in your hand and shatters into several splinters.
That was fun while
I
it
wondered
lasted.
if there was a risk of overloading it.
As a third earth elemental spawns and grumbles and groans and starts to lay into and smack at the researchers. Back to the other group.
Man, we don't have that much time. Well, we are going ahead. I would assume we're not sitting around.
One quick question, sorry, before
Mhm.
we switch over. Where is it? Are they all fairly like close together?
I would say one's here, one's on the red dot, one's here, but they're moving around and like blinking out of range whenever the golem tries, or the earth elemental tries to come to them to smack them. They are oftentimes blinking to other places in the battlefield, but you can always confidently, I'm not even going to let you roll for stealth because it's an advantage, you're invisible, they have no idea that you're there and they're not paying attention to you. You can deftly move yourself around the battlefield and not have to worry about being seen by them.
I was just wondering if it's worth trying to take out that person who's taking out all the golems.
Oh,
Casting
So
any
hung-
spell or doing an attack would drop your invisibility.
What I was thinking of is if I cast Hunger of Hadar at an angle in which it blocks sight of me and makes them blinded.
It's
Not
possible,
giving you a
but
chance.
like as you cast it, there's going to be a second or two of time where you become visible. They can see you, and then the tentacles will spawn.
Okay, I'll hold off for now then until
Okay.
we need to.
Could you, can we give him ideas out of character?
Sure.
Maybe if you are scared of being, perceived, you could potentially spawn Hunger of Hadar on them and immediately Misty Step out of the way.
Again, you would still have like at that point probably
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 seconds where you are visible and you haven't misty stepped away yet.
Shouldn't it be less than 6 seconds? Because basically it will be within the same turn. Because one of them is a bonus action and one is an action.
And they are
Can I-
also
could-
both
could-
leveled spells.
Can I
Oh.
disguise myself as one of them while I'm invisible? One of the people outside fighting.
casting the spell would break invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah,
never
so
mind.
there's still again would be like a second or two where you are your regular self, then go into your other whatever you disguise as.
Can you not hide around this corner here and then do all that?
Yeah, you could absolutely break line of sight with them for sure.
I mean, I'll hold off for now because there's still 2 golems that could give you a bit of time.
Yeah, and they shot a lot of their big spells earlier at the Shamble because they didn't expect to be fighting an army.
What is this wave 2 bar that appeared when the shamble went down?
So, other group.
Well, actually, sorry, quick question.
Okay, yeah.
Do we expect to be here for longer than half an hour?
I can't imagine so, given that it's literally been 5 minutes since you stepped foot into the courtyard.
Okay, never mind then. I can't just go have a quick short rest in the corner.
You as a warlock actually probably could because you get like really quick short rest stuff. But yeah. Anyway. Back
If
to the,
it's been 5 minutes, how long have we been inside?
again, yeah, like 5 minutes. You guys are
5
like
minutes?
slowly creeping along these corridors.
Maybe we should stop looking into the rooms we don't really care about and get to the one that's actually scary because it's in the middle of the place.
I'd say it's 5 minutes since you got inside the Zenith Institute. It's been like 2 or 3 minutes since you set foot into the corridors.
I'll just say, speaking out of character,
Yeah.
you guys can probably speed up a bit and not be as sneaky, considering most people seem to be outside, asking for help and such.
Well, in the middle, we won't be able to not be sneaky because they could potentially see us. Here. Because I would assume that's a corridor, and then there's probably people inside of the place, like here.
I've got a feeling they're
somewhere.
not looking back forever.
Yeah,
looking towards the
but-
elementals attacking them.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Maybe we should get there as soon as possible, because right now they're distracted. So yeah, okay. I would assume we're moving because we should not be wasting the time we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
are we checking this other room or are we just going to the middle one? Can we just like sneak into this room to check whether there's like people for like a second, for like 2 turns maximum instead of like spending a few minutes here?
Yeah, a quick peek and then we move on.
Yeah.
Just to make sure Gwen's not in there, basically. And then
Yeah, that's it. Because
Okay.
like 5 minutes to be there, it's kind of a lot.
Which rooms are you peeking in?
Just really quickly into this one, and then we're going towards the middle one.
Okay. In this room, you peek inside again. Walls, floor, ceiling, all void stone. You see in several rows of like test tubes, some alembics and calcinators, sort of like an alchemy-ish sort of setup. Again, no people in there.
Okay, we quickly move on to the next one. And try to be rather sneaky there, because it's dangerous.
Okay, your stealth rolls still continue on from before. You make your way, and the door for this bigger room intersects and like is aligns with the corridor that like runs down this way. So for a brief moment, while you all step into this room, you'll be seen across like the entire length of both corridors. But before you do so, you peek your heads around. You don't see anyone, and you slowly open this room. And in this room, bigger as it is, there's a lot of different... this room's very different. It sort of seems closer to sort of like a personal quarters. Not necessarily sleeping, but a personal quarters, in that you see a corner with an armchair and several books, with one of them big fancy globes that probably has drinks inside of it. You see another place that just has a sofa for a place for relaxing, a place that has a bunch of drinks set up, and a couple bits of snacks, and papers upon papers upon papers all over these desks, all over the tables. And in the corner where Spriggett pointed, you do see it's not even necessarily like a trapdoor. It's just a stairs that starts leading down, and then once it's down enough, there's like a door.
Okay, so that's the place we should be going towards. However, I'm having a real hard time not wanting to go check the papers. Okay.
grab a
Shall
bunch
we?
of papers and stick them in your bag on the way past.
Yeah, can I do this quickly?
Sure, grab like a handful of papers. Roll me a d20.
Yeah.
Okay. Grab a handful of papers, shoved in your backpack.
And we're going towards the thing.
Okay. Who's going first?
Nix, wherever you are, would you like to go first?
Pause and then. Okay. And you do the trapdoor, assuming it's not locked at least. Just.
It's not a
slowly-
trapdoor, so it's like stairs that
Okay.
go down, and then it's just a regular door.
It'll slowly start to open. Like one hand sort of pushing against the other to obey any creaking that it might make.
Okay. Nix, as you gently open the door, the staircase that you use to get down to this door turns at a 90-degree angle to your right and continues down. And you see about 20 feet down another door to the right. So it would be facing back into the middle of this room, but, you know, underground.
Just to say something, wherever we are like opening a door, we're closing it behind us.
Okay, noted.
Okay.
Thank you. You have closed the main door into this bigger room.
Yeah.
Are you all following down single file?
Yes, could we do like
Who's in the back? I don't care too much about the middle, just who's at the back.
I am?
Okay. Nix, you make your way down to the bottom of the stairs and you find this second door.
So many doors here. After glancing back to confirm, and everyone is basically all invisible and can't actually see
Mm.
that I'm glancing back, this door will ever so slowly start to be opened.
Okay. As gently as you can open
I'm
this door,
terrified.
you catch a sliver of the inside of the room. Walls false ceiling, all void stone. There are several tables in here with chairs and papers, but you notice that these are considerably more neatly arranged, a lot more purposeful. Are you heading into the room?
Before that, and with the communication difficulties that are sort of happening now, whoever is immediately behind Nyx, I'm gonna back into them and just sort of nudge them so they can look through the door as well.
Who's that going to be?
Wouldn't the cat be quite up there as well? Because it's sneaky.
Sure, yeah, Baylor will be up there.
I will walk into the room.
And he can still
So-
tell me everything because we have telepathic connection.
As long as the door remains a crack open, yes, you can. Baylor, you slip into the room, and it is exactly like I described before. Desks, very neatly arranged papers, and some chairs. Very minimal in here. Roll me a perception check.
Oh. Let me just check. I'll roll with my own perception.
This is audibly, if that makes a difference. So for hearing, for your cat-like
I think that
abilities.
works for a cat, yeah.
No, my perception's better than the cat's all around.
Okay. But like cats may get advantage to
In hearing.
earring.
No. They don't.
Okay.
Not really.
No, they have jumper, so they can jump far. Oof. I will inspiration reroll.
Okay.
Thank God.
You hear a faint and close to imperceptible some sort of dulled impact that immediately turns and averts your gaze to a different part of the room. You wouldn't have seen it had you not had your attention brought to it, but there is another door next to the door that you came into, that was sort of like obscured by like this door being the one you came through being opened. This thud came from that room.
I see. There's nothing in this room but more papers. Maybe you want to grab some more. But there is another door, and I've just heard some sound from the other door. I think we need to all come into this room and then go through that door.
I believe you're correct. I really kind of silently try to tell them that we should move ahead. Maybe I just do a couple of signs and stuff if they can see them.
And you all gently and carefully, single file, come into this room.
And I grab more papers if I can.
Roll another d20. Okay. And you're closing the
Can
door
I-
behind you as well.
Oh yeah. Do I have like any idea of how many papers I've taken so I can write it in my
A bunch. I'll figure it out later.
A bunch. Okay.
Okay. You're all in this room. You can see the door and the handle, so you can see which way it's going to turn. Are you going to align yourself so that if it opens a crack, people can't see you?
Most of us are invisible, right?
Most of
Four
us-
of you are invisible. There are 3 that aren't.
I look exactly like the female researcher. However, I don't know whether I'm supposed to be here. So that's that. But yeah, if they see me, there's not big of an issue. And then there's like, I think Carnellon is not invisible, and the cat. Everyone else is, right?
Okay.
What does Dave look like? Does he look like a researcher?
He looks like Dave.
Right.
It's
yeah,
your
I
lad,
have-
Dave.
What
Right,
kind of
right,
question is that?
Yeah, sorry.
Who is going to open this door?
Guys, do you think it's a good idea for me to open it?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I'm
What's the
kind
worst
of...
that can happen?
Depending on how many people are inside, a lot. But sure. I'll I'll look extremely annoyed with the situation. Because I'm the lady, you know. I'll look very angry, and then I'll carefully open the door without, showing the faces of the rest of the rest of my companions, if
Are
possible.
you trying to not make any noise and do this stealthily?
I'll kind of try to do that, but if it's impossible and there are people, I'll try to be rather looking confident once I'm inside.
Okay, so
Or
like if anyone notices, you're going to immediately go into sort of like a persuasive sort of thing. Okay, but for the time being, you
Yes.
want to make it stealthy.
Yes.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
You open this door a tiny, tiny crack. And you start to look through the crack. Baylor, you shuffle up alongside being the cat and just barely being able to peek your head through the tiniest of crevices. This room is considerably smaller. It has a single chair in it, with someone sat in it. There's also a glass panel in this room that covers up most of one of the walls. The person sat in this chair is a drow. But, Axie, they're a lot taller than Dranth and of a different shade of skin. You see them sat with their elbows on arms, fingers crossed, and resting their nose on their fingers, staring forward at this glass panel with an angry expression.
And I see nothing on the glass panel.
Not from your current angle.
Oh my god. Okay. And in the previous room, we didn't see any more doors, did we?
You did not know. Anxie, you're staring just through the sliver. Baylor, you've poked your entire head in. You could probably shuffle yourself all the way in with your natural 20 stealth and still be probably safe. Would you like to try?
Yes.
This room literally has nothing in it except that chair and this drow. As you get a better look at them now, their skin's a lot more purplish than Dranth's was. Their hair short in a military buzz cut kind of style. And their expression is so angry. Boom! You hear a knock on the glass, and you watch as this drow flinches and looks even angrier. Do you want to try and position so you can see what's past the glass?
Yes, definitely.
The glass covers almost the entire wall. It's not just like a window, it comes close to the floor. So even you, as your short stature as a cat, can see through the glass and see another voidstone room beyond that contains an eldritch shamble, alive and moving and pacing around the room.
Are there any other doors in this room?
Nothing. It is just the door you came through and this single chair.
I see. They have a shambler.
Where? This guy's looking at Shambler.
Yeah, it's behind the glass. That's what he's looking at.
Well, I feel like even though this seems rather fascinating, we should leave immediately.
Where do we go?
I don't know, but Gwen's not here, and this guy seems rather dangerous.
You might know where Gwen is.
You think we should engage?
I think we should.
Out of character. Hear me out. What if this is their fucking boss?
Yeah, I don't think he's a prisoner. I think he's trying to
No,
control
he's
it.
not. Yeah, I think he's trying to control it for sure, or at least he's trying to. If they're like doing experiments on chambers and whatnot, or eldritch horrors and everything, maybe, maybe, even if he's not, maybe he's controlling it. Who knows? Maybe they're seeing how the things they've done to it are affecting it, and I highly doubt that some random researcher that's not important at all would be sitting on a random chair and getting angry at a glass steel with a Shambler on the other side.
Well, I think him getting angry at it is him trying to control it with his mind.
Yeah, could be. That's why probably he didn't notice us either. Because he's focusing on that shit. However, we don't know who this person is. He might be very dangerous.
He might be dangerous. And like from my perspective, yeah, he's dangerous. From Bedel's perspective, he's somebody who might he's alone,
Yeah.
and he's somebody who might be able to give us information.
Okay, hear me out. Currently, we're in a good position because he doesn't see us. I could potentially try to read his mind. Gather
That-
some extra information.
That could be good.
Even if he notices after, we would have at least tried to gather some information from him, because I would have just left, but sure, we could go. We could.
That's a very good idea, actually. I'm just thinking, if you use mind control, or you read his thoughts, even if he detects you, you can basically ask where Gwen is, and he might do the same thing that woman did inadvertently reveal, and he's also being distracted by trying to keep control of his chamber as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be his defenses might not be as good as they would normally.
Yes. So before I do anything, I'll use my. Is it innate sorcery? It's a bonus action, and it's innate sorcery would increase my spell save DC, and then I'll have advantage on attack rolls and no, it's just attacks, so it doesn't fucking matter. But maybe having a higher DC of the, I'll use it. I'll just use quickly innate sorcery, and then I'll cast detect thoughts on him.
So, you have found your way into the very center of the Zenith Institute.
Oh, he's their boss.
And I just want to make sure that you want to do this.
Guys, I don't think we should do that.
I'm just saying, because this is a dice roll away from someone noticing your presence deep within the bowels of the beast.
Is this a you can certainly try moment?
Yes, it is. I'm very terrified. So, hear me out, team. I think we should vote.
So I think you have an advantage.
Oh, I know. You can gather surface thoughts without them rolling.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
you
but
will
now
need
I'm
to
terrified.
roll a. It's verbal, somatic, and material, but I did allow you to use detect thoughts before. No, I allowed you to use suggestion before with your. Yeah. So
Yeah.
detect thought. You will have to verbally speak some components, and I will need a general dexterity check from you,
Which I have -2 currently on. So yeah.
and you will need to beat
Oh.
a 14. Actually, no. Because they are very concentrated right now and very focused, I'm going to bring it down to an 8.
Quick question, just to give context of the situation. So the room he's in, is it a Voidstone room?
Yes.
Okay, Anxie, you do all this from outside the room at a point in which the door can be shut without you having to like leave the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have Scup ready to slam the door shut and hold it shut if anything weird happens. And
Well,
then basically you can barricade the door and he can't do jack shit because he's in a room designed to contain magic users. If he does turn out to be like the big bad guy.
but that, yeah, sure. But the thing is, him noticing us would kind of fuck up our current mission, finding Gwen
Well,
and getting the fuck out.
The thing is,
Honestly,
if you barricade him in the room, he can't warn anyone else because it's a room in which you can't, you can't just like send a message to somebody because he's in a Voidstone room. He's isolated.
and you reckon he wouldn't be even able to teleport out of it?
Well, that's the whole point of a Voidstone room.
Yeah,
So
no, I was
if
just
Warlock's
not
prison, you can't
sure.
just teleport out of it. Otherwise, it'd be like traffic prison.
Yeah. I was just not entirely sure how it works because they were teleporting out, but they could have just went to another room and do it. Okay, cool. The thing is, I in the time I do that, we'll be noticed for sure because Cedric is here. I can use telepathic speech. Okay. Sure, I'll try it. I will first use telepathic speech on Cedric, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Sit. I'm gonna do something very dangerous. Please be ready to barricade the door if something goes wrong. I'll let you know. It's Anxie. Over.
Oh, thank God. For a second, I thought why should my have been sexy already? Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then I'll try to use detect thoughts on him, and I have to roll dexterity roll, and I
You
hope
need to
I roll
beat
more than 10.
an 8, and you've got a -2 modifier
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
this. So
I
you need to
know, I'm
see
aware.
a 10 or higher on this roll.
Please. Okay, yeah. I'm not panicking, you are. What's he saying to himself?
As you cast Detect Thoughts, it's barely the most imperceptible whisper that even your allies right next to you cannot hear. Cast Detect Thoughts, and you pick up on the surface thoughts of this individual. You do not hear any thoughts. All that you feel is the most intense, burning hatred that you've ever felt. And you feel it being funneled and directed towards the shambler that you know to be behind the glass. You feel the most abject hatred for that monstrosity.
Huh.
Do you want to push further and force a wisdom saving throw?
Don't know. Can we stop the game time and talk like out of character for like a minute?
I will allow a couple minutes, sure.
I'd say go for it. I mean, worst case is, well, you can just like throw a fireball at the glass, slam the door shut, and hopefully the shamble will kill him.
Well, like
The
he's
chamber can't break glass. I don't know how well it's going to break him.
yeah. I don't know how that's gonna happen. Sure, but one thing is, dude's feeling extreme hatred towards the Shambler. He's trying to presumably control. That doesn't mean they're entirely terrible people, does it? Because
You
I
hate
don't-
shamblers. We hate shamblers. We have so much in common.
No, well,
The
not
slab
what I'm
of
trying to say,
living
but
grey flesh in the other room probably doesn't seem like a nice guy thing to do.
exactly. So
What if he's trying to instill some hatred into the Shambler for something specific, and
Oh.
not that he hates the Shambler itself?
you reckon he has such connection with it?
I don't know, but it's possible,
Oh.
right?
He's
I think he's
instilling his
projecting.
hatred for Mondays.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just
God, I
emo
hate
goth.
them. The thing is, keep in mind that even if I try to dig deeper into his thoughts, currently he's not thinking of anything. He's just trying to put some hatred into the Shambler or whatnot, or just hates them or
Could you use
anything.
suggestion to suggest that he loves the Shamble and not hates it?
Right.
Suggestion
Anyway,
doesn't do things that are wildly out of character, which that
Exactly,
sounds like it would be.
okay. So if I force to dig deeper, like there is a huge possibility of not learning Kenneton, and right now we haven't been spotted.
You are on a bit of a timer as well.
Yeah.
Cutting to
So-
the outside quickly. With you no longer being able to spawn any more Earth Elementals, you watch as a couple of these researchers take hits from the Earth Elemental, but they do eventually bring down all three, and you watch as they gather and start to just mutter amongst themselves as they're talking about what they've seen, what they've witnessed, sometimes peeking and looking at where the Shambler was, noticing it's now disappeared, and still coming out and just they're congregating around the corpses of Elementals.
Can I cast Minor Illusion down on the lower courtyard and have it basically be the sound of somebody screaming that they're attacking the main gate?
Doing so would drop your invisibility. Do you want to do that?
Okay, not with where I am. What's the range on it? 1 sec. I'm not sure I can really cast it anywhere that would make sense without being seen. Can I command my Tentacle of the Deep to move?
Yeah.
And
Right. Still there as well, isn't it?
what was I saying?
No, it's just that's still there as well, isn't it? I forgot to
Yeah,
look
it's
at
just there sitting on the stairs. They haven't noticed apparently.
that. How are people reacting to that?
There was the scream from the two students, and then everyone's just run away and run into buildings. The researchers don't seem like they've noticed or know it's there.
Actually, can I just resummon it instead of having it move? So it just appears in front of them.
Ooh.
I can summon it a number of times equal to my proficiency.
I'm pretty sure it's an action to cast, and so you can, but this will also drop your invisibility.
Okay, I'll just command it to move then.
Actually, no, hold on.
I wouldn't have thought it would.
It
Like,
would've-
it's attack, cast a spell, or deal damage, isn't it?
This is. Is it a spell or it's a class feature, right? It's in your
It's
features
class feature,
section.
yeah.
So it wouldn't, because I'm thinking as well, you spawned it earlier and it didn't drop invisibility earlier as well, so I'd have to rule one way or the other. So yes, you can respawn it and it won't drop invisibility.
Okay, I just summon it on top of them and like have it attack them.
Roll attack on one of them then.
No, what do I roll again?
They are having a day in this courtyard.
That's 1d. What's the hit die roll for it?
It's a d20.
D20. I'm targeting the main like woman.
Oh, the woman, okay.
It's 15.
Plus, is it your proficiency or your spellcasting modifier?
I think it says. Oh, it doesn't say on the description.
Is it not?
It says melee spell attack.
Oh, so there'd be, yeah,
Oh.
so with your spellcasting modifier then.
Is that 7 spell attack bonus?
Yep, that's the one. Okay, so 15 plus 7, that's a 22. As this tentacle immediately spawns in front of this woman, you watch still maintaining her perfect proper form, she looks up as the tentacle goes to smack her across the face. She casts Shield, and it breaks through the shield, being a far stronger hit than she anticipated it to be, and the tentacle smacks her across the face, and you watch as her face stays in the direction that it was smacked. Hair now tousled. She turns and looks at it, blinks backwards, and you watch as this most angry, visceral face comes across her as a red mark starts to permeate on her cheek as she casts a giant fireball and leashes it at the tentacle, which of course takes no damage because it's not an actual entity or anything.
Does it hurt any of the researchers who are next to it?
They all
Or-
jump out of the way immediately in time within the same round that it made the one attack already, so it's not within range again. But
do I need to roll damage then if it hit?
actually, yeah, roll damage.
Roll for slap.
Is it 1/8? It's 1d8.
I'm hoping this is an 8. I'm really hoping this is
That's 7. Close enough. It does reduce some movement as well.
It does indeed. So, with that, back to the other group. What are you doing?
So how many people think that I should be probing further instead of leaving? Great. Bolting
Okay.
out. Huh?
This is what I'm thinking. We know where this guy is. Let's go back to the bigger room and see if we can find any other doors. And if not, maybe we need to come back to this guy and rest
Yeah,
him on the
The
ground.
thing is, we are kind of on a... We don't really have much time. We need to be really quick in our attempt to try and find Gwen, because Andros had been helping a lot, but they might be done soon, and they might, like, come here. So let's try and get the fuck out. So, sneakily, I'll try to leave. Like, close the door, with, of course, Baylor being outside of it, and
Then,
get the fuck
Anxie,
out.
you will need to roll another sleight of hand check in order to close this door without any sound. You need to
I wanna
beat
cry.
a DC 8.
If Nick
And
sees
now
the
reroll
door
it.
closing, can Nix assist?
No.
And I'll use my inspiration to reroll it again. Holy fuck. Please roll more than that. Please roll more than that. Yep, we're done. Okay, that's no inspiration and minus another lucky point. But we did it.
Resources are there to be spent.
Baylor, I'm
Yep.
assuming you came back through and didn't get locked in the room with him.
Yeah.
Anxie, you gently and slowly close the door. Feeling confident the individual didn't hear you.
I think here a piece of paper sort of falls out of nowhere in particular, on which is written, "Shall we barricade them in anyway?"
How do we do that silently though? Can we do that silently? Shall we just
I
leave?
mean, you can put stuff in the way of a door without like hammering into it or anything.
Yeah. Did we see any items that we could do in the previous room?
There's
That's good.
items all over the room.
Okay. Well, once we get out of the, because right now, was there like a staircase towards this room? Or-
There's a door next to this exact door that leads back up to the main
All
room.
right. Let's get there, and then someone can go back and put a chair or something in front of it, while the rest are trying to find a room, another room. How does that sound?
Yeah, so we're in the big room downstairs
Right. Right.
Mhm.
with the paper. Yes. Are there any other doors that we can see in this room?
None. It was just these two.
Does anyone have any means of creating a door or anything? Maybe a hole that we could probably pass towards the next room, just in case if we might get spotted while leaving this room.
Through the void stone.
Oh, it's a fucking void stone. Never mind. I didn't say any of that. Let's fucking leave.
So you're all leaving the room.
Yeah, so we should all sneakily try and leave the room and go to the next room.
Since
I
a good amount
suppose.
of time has passed and you were stood still for quite a while, I will need another group stealth check from everybody. Please bear in mind those who have advantage. I will be rolling for Zinni.
Does that include me?
Not for you, sorry.
Cedric has advantage, and Zinni has advantage. Oh, please roll fine. Please roll fine.
Ooh,
Oh god.
I believe Pass Without a Trace is no longer up once you've... Actually, no, it's not a concentration check, is
No.
it?
it's not. But even so, concentration spells do continue while I'm shapeshifted.
Mm-hmm. So we should still have it.
Okay. Sid, can I get a stealth roll with advantage from you, please?
Please roll like a 20. Oh no.
Thank God you gave Sid invisibility, otherwise you would have had another natural one on your hand.
Yeah.
What did Nix and Levant roll?
Oh, we have a 19 from Nix and a 12 from Levant.
Okay. Decent. Is it good enough though?
So that is a 25, a 16 natural one, a 17, and a 23, as well as a 12 and 19. You guys slowly start to move up the staircase and back into the wider room. You're now back in the what was personal quarters. What are you going to do?
Just before we leave, did anyone want to go put like a chair in front of the guy's room, or maybe we put one here? I don't know. Shall we just leave? I don't really fucking care.
You might hear that.
Huh?
If you're moving chairs around, you might hear you.
Exactly. That's why I don't really want to do it. So I think we should just leave as soon as possible so we don't waste time.
But it's just, I
Yeah.
searched the room for an immovable rod.
All right.
I mean, you don't know this, but like I am running out of tricks. So.
Yeah.
Got a few more,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm running low.
Okay. So we are definitely then trying to leave this room and go to the next.
Which one's your next?
Well, the next right room. We are going towards the rooms that are supposed to be with Boinstone.
Okay. You all make your way out into the corridor once more, peeking your heads around. You thankfully don't see anyone, and you begin to make your way along the corridor to the next room. Who's going to be opening this door?
I'd assume the same people, Zinni and Baylor.
Yeah.
With his natural one stealth?
Oh, you're correct. Well, he still has +5. Oh, wait, because we are still using the same... Oh, right. We can't see Nix, can we?
Nix can do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I was considering having them like sort of up tempo and go on ahead to other rooms, but
Yeah. Could you
Zinni's
please do
feeling
that?
confident. She's going to saddle up with Nix, because she doesn't want Nix seeing something that she doesn't.
Yeah, fair.
I've won everyone else over. It's just Zinni.
That's totally fair.
Nix slowly goes up to this next room and slowly cracks open the door. And both Nix and Zinni see inside the room. Once again, walls, floor, ceiling, all void stone. A couple of desks and tables. Much less scattered papers this time. There's another bird cage. This one's got some kind of creature in it. Not shambling entity, but just some odd
Not a bird either, then.
looking... It's an odd looking bird. It's like... I don't even know how to describe this to you. It's like
Great to say.
top left half of its body, so like a diagonal line across its torso, what would be its left arm and its head is bird, so it's like wing and head with beak, and the other half is like, it's like hamster or gerbil. It's a monstrous freak,
Oh, fun.
but you see it sat on a pedestal in this birdcage, quietly sleeping. And another thing you see is two people. One sat on a chair, and another looming over them. Nix and Zinni, you see Gwen
Oh god.
sat in this chair, still and unmoving, skin pale, eyes rolled into the back of her head with blood coming out of her nose and dripping off her chin. Leaning over her, with a hand up and head down, eyes closed, is Dranth.
Right. I should definitely have telepathic speech on with at least Zinni, so we know what they're seeing.
Zinni describes to you everything as she sees it.
Okay. Okay, guys, this is the room, and it sounds horrific. Should we get going? Should we enter?
Yeah. Go, go, go.
Yes. Yeah. we
where
try.
should we enter? No, like.
Well, I don't want to make decisions.
Sid, are you storming into this
myself.
room?
Fucking of course. There's people in danger.
Poof! Door slams open. Sid streams into this room, sprinting in the direction. Carnellin immediately follows behind him, and as Dranth turns to look, casts silence on the area in front of him before he has the opportunity. You guys have the surprise round. Sid, you and your distance, you were able to get within range of Dranth. You are in melee range, and he's silenced. Is there anything you immediately want to do before we go to initiative?
Shake his hand.
Describe to me again. So Gwen is unconscious in the chair.
Maybe unconscious. You see that her
Maybe
eyes are open, but her eyes are rolled into the back of her head. She's
Whoosh. Okay.
as you
And-
come like in your heat in the heat of the moment, you don't know if she's dead or not.
You walked out.
Sorry. In the heat of the moment, you don't know whether Gwen's dead or not yet, because you've not had time to
Okay, but
analyze.
Dranth, what is...
Dranth, as soon as you banged and opened the door, he immediately turned around and saw you coming, but couldn't act in time before Carnellin cast silence on him. And you feel weird as like you hear your stomping feet, and then suddenly you don't hear anything as you come into close range of Dranth. And you watch him stammer back and look to scream, but you don't hear any noise come out of his mouth.
Describe to me what Dranth's expression is on his face.
Given the giant, hulking beast of a man you are, it is one of abject terror.
All I'm saying, guys, is the only part we need intact is his head.
No. Yes.
Evil
we-
battle.
That's not the most helpful thing, guys. I can detect thoughts.
Listen. I want to grab him. And I want to upstrain him.
Yes.
I want to grab him and make sure he can't do fuck all right?
Yeah.
Go and
I like
grapple
that.
him and make. Given the absolute heightened emotion, the destitute and poor woman you see in front of you, knowing all of your friends are willing you to do your absolute best in this moment, you're going to get an automatic advantage on this athletics check.
Okay.
I swear to God, if you get a natural one.
Well, he has advantage. Maybe 2
A whole
ones.
natural one.
Am I in combat? Can I rage?
I would say you
Aren't
could.
you already?
I'm assuming that you raged as soon as you heard that Gwen
Yes.
was in
Yeah.
there.
Because let me see. I have advantage on shit with Lennox, I believe, if I'm raging, right?
You've already got advantage with this check, regardless. So you've got all
Alright.
bonuses you can get right now.
Fucking let's go. That's insane.
That's really fucked. He did roll a 1.
Again.
A 1 and a 4. Nice.
Dranth, with his natural 2, is absolutely nothing compared to the brutal might of Cedric Halfork.
So lucky.
And he finds
Oh, yeah.
himself immediately wrapped up, both arms grabbed and held clammed to his side, screaming but no noise coming out, wriggling in your grasp as you lift him off the ground. Roll me a d4 plus your strength modifier, just to see how much you crunch him a little bit.
We've moved on to body shake from handshake, huh?
That's 8 points of damage against Dranth.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
8 points of crushing damage.
How long is his silence lasting? Do I need
Yeah.
to move my hand in front of his mouth?
Yeah,
So-
how long is it?
Silence lasts.
Isn't it until he saves?
I don't think silence.
Or is
a
it just one
save.
round? I'm not sure.
For the duration, what's the duration? Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Yes.
I'd suggest gagging him as soon as you can.
I believe maybe in the end of his turn he might be able to save, depending on
I
the
mean,
skill.
listen, doesn't matter. I'm gagging him anyway. Like I fucking like Sid fucking knows how long
yeah,
silence will last. You know, like I put my hand in front of his face, all right, and I look at you guys, right? Like I understand the situation. I fucking got the guy. I look at you guys,
Yeah.
and you should all fucking know, move the fuck in.
Yeah. We are all probably just getting in. Just before we do anything, should we just, maybe not kill the person and try to get as much information as possible from them?
That's why I grapple
Exactly.
him.
I'm making sure.
Why would I grapple him? I would have smacked his fucking head
I
in.
know.
He would have already been dead there.
Speaking out of character,
Well,
I would suggest tying him up and taking him with us so we can interrogate him.
I was thinking about that, but we could also just try and do it now. It doesn't really fucking matter to me, but
I wouldn't do it now because I have a point where
Well,
I'm about
The
to
most in
overhorn.
character. Okay, hold up. The most in character thing right now. Bela, Anxi, you go check on Gwen. I'm holding the gun.
I'm not checking on Gwen. I have other things to do.
Okay, well, decide what to do. Someone check on Gwen and decide what you want to ask Dranth.
I'm immediately going to drop wild shape form and go check.
And Baylor,
Yeah.
you drop wild shape and immediately sprint towards Gwen.
And
You
while everyone,
hang on.
sorry.
You immediately clasp her head from behind and lift her up because her head was hanging back over the back of the chair. You see that there is blood still actively running down and out of her nose, and her eyes are still rolled into the back of her head. Roll me a medicine check.
Ask City to help. Ask City to help.
I believe you should be helping, right? There's no fucking way she's not.
Zinni probably would have charged in with you guys. She probably would have charged in alongside Scup and
Didn't really care.
maybe even kicked Dranth in the balls or something.
Yeah, that sounds like Zinni.
Yeah.
The 14, Gwen is alive.
Good.
She's breathing very softly, and you can see that she's in some kind of trance-like coma. You're still
Alright.
within the silent spell, so you can't exactly say
Okay.
anything to kind of wake her up. So,
Am I within the silence?
yeah, you're within the silent spell. It was cast on Dranth's location. It's 20-foot radius.
Okay, so while this is happening, I imagine Anxi and shit is like standing in front of Dranth, right? Everyone's
Yes.
standing. Okay. I see this and I take a quick glance at Gwen, right? In the state she's in.
Mhm.
This has obviously emotional effects on me, right? We see sort of like a serious tone in my eyes, like almost like a sign of intelligence, which might
Almost.
catch some people off guard. But I move my head. Well, it's already kind of like my head is right next to Dranth, right? Like right
Mhm.
next to his ear. I have my hand on his mouth, and I tell him, "You're going to give us some fucking answers right now, or I snap your neck with the flick of a wrist. You little
Yeah.
piece of shit."
I believe we should get as much answers as possible while we're still here.
He
'cause no
looks
one
up
can-
at you with terror in his eyes. And
I look at
At the
Anxi.
moment, but isn't this inside silence?
My turn cannot come to like a thing. So.
oh, this is inside silence. So he turns and looks at you as you mouth a bunch of words, but he doesn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I really think we should just take him with us. I don't think I'm going to hold
Okay.
him off long outside.
hear me out. We can't really just like take him out of here because people would be able to find him. Like currently we are surrounded by Boatstone, so we can take a few seconds or minutes trying to get some information of him while people cannot barge in. Well, not barge in, but like find him, or he cannot cast spells outside of here.
So if we just take him, they're not going to know we've kidnapped him. You know, they might think he's, you know, he got attacked by the elemental or the thing, and he might have left by himself.
I mean, listen, guys, we need to get out, right? Then,
We do have to do that, but-
So, all right, so listen to this, right? We're there already. We can ask him questions already.
Yeah, that's my
All we
idea.
need is some answers right fucking
Exactly.
now, or we might fail and not get any answers at all. Like we can take a minute.
Yeah, that's my idea. I really want to
And
fucking cast
ask
detect
him-
thoughts.
Ask him. Yeah, do it. Fucking.
I want to
it.
do that, but my turn is not there yet, is it? Okay, and then if someone comes, we can just teleport the fuck out. Because technically, if we leave now, they will still get to the point of coming here, seeing that he's not here, and then, you know, searching for him. Right now, we are inside of a Voidstone building, and we can safely cast things on him without people,
Do it.
you know, being able to come. Okay, so once we are inside the room, we definitely close the door, and I go towards him. I put my hand on his head, just what he was doing to Gwen, and say, "Shall we do this to you instead?" And I cast detect thoughts on him. And before that, I also will cast innate. Sorry, are you speaking? Dax, you're
As
muted.
this is all happening, this is all happening very, very quickly, and you are all very panicked. All of you guys, all the Wayward Wanderers, immediately sprinted into the room. Dranth, in this moment, is frantically looking at all of you and is completely and totally panicked.
Well, yeah, I better fucking be.
And
Yeah.
then you notice a sense of focus come to his eyes. And you watch as he disappears from Sid's grasp.
That's with the surprise round? Like,
Your surprise round ended like a while ago. You've been sort of like
I didn't do
panicked and
anything.
wondering.
I wanted to do something, but I couldn't because no one
It
let
would
me.
take all your movement and your action to get to him. He disappears from Sid's
makes sense.
grasp. And all you hear is a door slam behind you as you see that Levant was the last person to come into this room and didn't close the door behind him.
Isn't Silence still up?
Silence affects an area.
Area here.
Yeah, but wasn't he in the area?
Immediately after you hear this door slam, you hear screaming from within the hallway.
Okay.
Is Silence still infected, or is it over now?
Carnellen drops it now that there's no one here.
With the drop,
Um,
I'm immediately going to cast Cure Wounds on Gwen.
Okay, shall we go catch him and teleport out of here?
I grab my axe.
Sid's immediately charging at the door again.
No. I'm just letting everyone know with my stance, with my demeanor, that I know shit's about to go down, or
Yeah.
might go down.
Okay, I'll repeat. Shall we go catch him and teleport out of here?
Yes.
Let's go do that.
Let's go. Well, let's get Gwen out of here.
I
first.
look at Carnellen and immediately ask him, could you please teleport us as quick as possible once we get him?
Say that again, sorry.
Could you please teleport us as quick as possible once we get him?
Yeah. In this moment, as you
Okay.
turn to look at Carnellen, the first time that you've paid attention to him all session, he is completely dripping with sweat and looks completely and totally panicked.
The fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's go. And he immediately starts running towards the door.
Okay. Once we are out and I can see Trant, I use telepathic speech on him and cast suggestion on him.
Hang on. You're getting
Can I
ahead of
not?
yourself.
That's a bit quick.
I'm trying to do stuff.
One thing at a time.
So, he, with his turn, using his aberrant mind feature of being able to cast a spell without using any verbal components,
Oh, fuck off.
immediately gone out of the door, and by the time you get out the door, you don't see him. Give me a group perception check right now.
Eat it here.
Just a thought. Speaking out of character, if you're looking down the corridor, yeah,
They're in the corridor now, yes.
just send a fireball down that corridor. If he's invisible, you're gonna find him.
Call that the nuclear option.
Would you know to do that? Hold up.
Yeah.
Well, if
But
he's suddenly not there, then you can, it's safe bet he's gone invisible.
yeah, that's what I think he's done. But anyway, is Zinni not gonna row?
Oh, sorry. I'm so
Yeah, you better be sorry.
fucking-
There's a whole lot going on, a lot being piloted.
Yeah, can we like do it in a turn-based thing so we can all just do our turns? Cause like,
This isn't really initiative yet.
oh,
It's
sucks.
not really combat, yeah.
Can someone hit? Well, Cedric hit him. Okay.
So,
21 for Nyx, 11 for Levant.
Nyx and Zinni, as they dash out of the room, or as you are getting to the door, you hear the sound of a door shutting. And it was in this direction. You get into the corridor and you can see there's a door not too far away from where you were.
So he's gone into another room.
Yeah, he's probably asking for help. Um,
Which side room?
It was off in this direction.
Yes. So we were here. So he's probably here. Should we follow?
Nyx can cover some.
Well, my character is extremely upset, so she's definitely following.
I want to follow, but I'm going to assume that I've picked Gwen up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
you're
assume that
carrying
too.
Gwen, so you're lagging a little bit behind. Roll me a strength check, Baylor. You're lagging a bit behind, but you're maintaining visual with the group at least.
I mean, you've had worse strength checks, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what are
Strength is not
you
highest
guys doing?
I already said I'm going there.
You're
I'm
charging at
following
the
towards
door?
This room.
Zinni,
Yep.
well, Zinni points it out. Nyx probably is just like points.
Yeah.
Nyx is invisible, pointed it out, but nobody saw. It's so hard to communicate as a mute person who's invisible.
I mean, yeah, if we had like telepathic connection, but I can't see
Like
you.
all
so-
7, you can't re-up it.
You
don't worry.
immediately charge at the door and barge it open. Anxie and Zinni probably first. You see Dranth at the window starting to open it.
Would I be able to cast anything quickly?
Yeah, you have an opportunity to cast a spell here.
I immediately cast fucking suggestion, and I suggest he gets away from the window and comes to speak to me, basically, if that's even possible.
Just add a character. Can I suggest you use hold person instead?
I don't have it, do I?
Oh, do you not? Okay. I was
No, I
thinking
don't.
suggestion like that would be out of character considering how terrified he is. He's not going to turn around, is he?
Given what just
Well-
happened to Dranth, do you think it's a reasonable suggestion that he
No,
should
I
come
can think
towards you?
quickly. Okay, I'll do something else then.
I can move the needle here, given that Nyx will have dashed their cunning action and can still do something.
Okay.
Nyx has something that doesn't care if it's a reasonable suggestion.
Oh,
Could they make a Constitution saving throw?
Dranth? Okay.
What? What's happened?
Roguey shit is happening.
That is a 16 minus 1 for a 15.
The DC is 15.
Would I be able to know that something's happening to cast silver barbs?
Yeah, you see Dranth somewhat reacting.
Yeah, I'm casting silver barbs.
He rolls again. For a 6 minus 1 for a 5.
Good.
Okay. Well, as Nyx speckles back into visibility, Dranth is going to, if he's holding anything, drop it, and then move up to his speed towards us and away from the window as Nyx casts Puppet.
I love that.
Okay. Dranth
And
silently
bless you.
drops, lets go of the window that he was clamoring to open and starts to walk towards you with his full movement. This is all happening in real time. You guys can step in and
Yeah.
do something.
Shall we try again? I basically tried to hold his hand and then sign to Cornelian to cast teleport on all of us.
Full abduction.
My mind is racing. Anxie, can you say that again? Sorry.
I swear to fucking God.
It's tense for me too, you know.
Tell me about it. I couldn't fucking cast a single spell. I go towards him
Mhm.
and basically try to catch his hand or something.
Mhm.
And then I sign to Cornelian to cast teleport on all of us. If he can, as quick as possible.
It's going to take an extra turn for Baylor to be in range of you carrying
Oh,
Gwen.
Jesus freaking Christ.
Fortunately, Levant is going to hold person on Drenth.
Okay. You guys have been very
Oh,
helpful.
while he's under the effect of Puppet, does he auto-fail that then?
I hope so.
So Puppet, it is a first level. It is a little one. All it actually does is it made them move towards.
Okay, so Dranth still has to roll again. What does he have to roll?
It's just calling it up. I think it's a con save again for hold person, isn't it? Oh no, wisdom saving throw.
Okay. It's a natural 20.
Yeah,
Silvery
and,
Barbs.
And it
Silvery
is-
Barbs.
That's a 13 plus... What's his wisdom going to be?
Oh, come on.
It's probably going to be like a plus 5 for an 18. It's at this point, then when you said that to Carnelian, he tells you, teleport is only me and 8 others.
How many are we? Aren't we... Wait. Gwen, Drant, Cornelian, 3.
And then the 5 of you.
5 of us?
5 of you, Nyx, Levant, Gwen, makes 8. Dranth would be the 9th.
So Nyx can probably get his own
Actually,
way out.
minus Andros, because he's not here. So,
Yeah, I was
sorry.
minusing Andros.
Ignore me, I can make my own way out.
Yeah, I was
I
minusing
was going
you.
to ask about that because I was sort of worried if we were
Sorry.
just going to teleport and leave you.
I was getting
Yeah.
worried. So, he fails the hold person.
We will try to do something if when that happens, though. I haven't done shit.
Yeah. So, what's your spell this turn?
Oh, let me think of it. Just a second.
It's going to need to be something that prevents him from doing stuff.
I'm very much aware of that. Yeah, thank you. I have either phantasmal force or fucking suggestion.
Hold person has paralyzed him.
It didn't work though.
He saved against it.
He rolled
How many rolls were there? Because it sounded like there were 2 silvery barbs.
well, yeah, there were 2 silvery barbs, weren't there?
Silvery Barbs
Yeah.
gives you disadvantage.
So he can't get a double disadvantage, so it doesn't fucking
No.
matter. Fucking hell, I hate it. Okay,
Um,
still have mine, so that's good.
Break his arms. But he
Oh,
can't make the symbols to teleport.
I am not very strong, am I? Can't really break his fucking arms.
Unless they've errated silvery barbs for 5.5, it is just you must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, you might be right. 5.5e. Let's see if they just errated that just in case.
I think they changed it, but let me check.
I can't see it in 5.5, so it is actually written as just a reroll. So,
It is a reroll, yeah?
second reroll for Dranth. There's an 18 plus
fuck off.
numbers.
Now you're rolling well.
A 20 and a 13 and an 18.
Okay,
I race against the dice as much as I can.
I'm just not sure what to
Let me
do.
check Zinni's spells. What did Zinni
Yeah,
prepare
please
for
check
this?
these spells.
Good question. Where is this window that he's trying to get out of?
It's now like 30 feet away from him, and it is
Oh, you can talk it on the
here.
map. Thanks.
Bane, detect magic, false light, pitching ball, ray of sickness, shield of faith, find traps, locate object, ray of enfeeblement, withering boon, zone of truth, feign death, and speak with dead.
I think the only one that could do something there is Ray of Enfeeblement. But I don't
She
know too much about
has hold
Yeah,
person, but
it's
has not
just-
prepared it.
it.
Okay, I'll try to use Phantasmal Force on him instead of suggestion then.
Okay.
And the
Sorry, just for a really good idea. Anxie, are you close by him?
yeah, I'm next to him.
Can you cover his eyes? Because Misty Step you can Misty Step somewhere you can see.
Sure, I'll do
So
that.
if he's blinded, you can't Misty Step away at least.
But if I blind his fucking eyes, it will be a problem because he wouldn't like realize the what's going on with the Phantasmal Force thingy.
Sid,
Mhm.
would you have immediately gone up and grabbed him now?
Wait, I didn't think I was in range, but
You definitely would be. You've got an insane amount of speed, and they brought Drath closer
Oh.
to them.
Yeah.
no, I fucking grabbed the guy again, just like I did before. Do I
Hey.
need to do the athletics check?
I'll still like to say what I'm casting, but sure.
Sorry,
I mean, hey, let's just throw everything at him. Why not?
I mean, like everything's sort of happening at once because technically not in combat.
So yeah, and then in those situations, the guy that's quicker, stronger, whatever, in this situation at least, kinda gets ahead, right?
But I was the first person that entered the
Eh,
room,
Let's let
and
Anxie.
I still
Yeah,
haven't done
yeah,
shit.
sorry.
Can I do something?
Platt, go ahead.
Thank you.
Well,
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
okay, but if it's just for the sake of doing something, then okay, like earlier you wanted to like suggest him to turn around, which you won't do. So what is it actually what you want to do? Is it going to be effective? Is it going to be more effective than me just grabbing the guy?
Obviously, you can do that
both.
as well. We can do fucking both, but I'm
Well,
trying to
let me
make him
grab-
think that the window is dangerous for him, so he doesn't go to it again.
I mean, I could just grab him so he doesn't get to the window, right?
Well, he did last time. He fucking left, didn't he?
All right, so
Platt is so anxious right now.
okay.
Like,
Listen,
whatever. Just
Listen,
with
no,
the-
no.
like-
You
You can do it as well. I'm just trying to cast my
Listen.
fucking spell.
Can you please tell Sid in his mind that I need to cover his eyes, right, or some shit, so he can't TP while we grab him? You do that. I grab him. You can then detect thoughts, and you can fucking read his mind.
I was not gonna do that regardless. but sure.
Phantasmal Force
Um,
doesn't actually require the target to see. Only you need to see where you're
Yeah, no,
casting it.
Yeah, no, but still haven't cast it, have I? Anyway, okay, I'll do that.
Go ahead and
I'll
cast
use-
it. So
Yeah, right. I'll cast Phantasmal Force, and I'll make him think that the window is currently, different kind of tentacles are crawling through the window, and the window is extremely dangerous, and he shouldn't go there. So yeah, and
Okay.
then
intelligence
to-
saving throw for
Yep.
Dranth. He
Yeah,
has
and he's gonna make
a
it.
+5 on this, so he needs
Mhm.
to roll a 10 or higher.
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Yeah, of course it is. Sure, no problem. And then I use telepathic speech to tell Cedric to cover his eyes as fast as possible when he grapples him. And I
Okay.
say over in the end.
Well, that's what I
Okay.
do.
Put a hand over his eyes. I would say the athletics check goes without saying. He's got no power over you, really, and especially after you so convincingly did it the first time. But he is going to try to struggle to get some glimpse of vision. Is everybody in this room now? So everybody's ran and they are close around the subject.
I don't know if I'm there yet.
After he makes this roll, you will be. So if he fails, you will have enough time to get within range of Carnellen.
Okay.
So this is going to need to be a contested athletics check, Scup. His -1 athletics to yours.
Okay.
And yep, there's going to be a straight line. So 12 for you. And that is an 11 -1 for Dranth. as you manage to keep a tight clasp over his eyes, preventing him from seeing where he may want to misty step to. Baelor manages to get in range, and Carnellon, sweating, panicked, and hyperventilating, casts teleport. You are all immediately taken out of the Zenith Institute,
Oh, fucking hell.
traveling through
Slippery.
the arcane networks that live across Zemia. You zip and dash and twist and turn through and land out in the open air.
We need to gag him.
You notice something immediately. It's nighttime.
Huh.
You look around, you're in a completely unfamiliar place.
Huh.
You stand at the top of some kind of stone temple.
Hey, guys,
Have a
I told
bonus
you.
that we like.
A night sky.
Don't worry, guys. We need to go to his concert. He's gonna bring us back.
Below you, you see somewhat of a destitute and broken down village.
Oh no.
And this temple you stand upon, dark greenish, mossy stone. Another contested athletics roll against strength.
Okay. So we are all there. Can we start like
He fails.
tying him with a rope?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Go
gagging
ahead.
him.
Sure.
Okay. So what do we
I
gag
can
him
break
with?
his
What do I have?
legs.
Well, you
Just
can
whip
definitely.
Just into
clothing
that,
or
Nix is
something.
also going to mind sliver him.
I love
I can
that for
break
you.
it. I can break his legs and poke out his eyes.
I'd suggest, like, at the very least, if you're not going to, like, break his arms or whatever,
No,
Tie
no, I
his
still
hands,
would not do
legs.
that.
gag him and put a bag over his head.
I was just thinking like Andros.
And after, like, blindfolding him as well.
Does anyone fucking have something to gag him with? Like,
Just whip up some clothing or something.
yeah. We definitely do that, and we have ropes in our inventory, so we can easily fucking tie him.
As you begin to tie him,
Of course.
you watch as he
Yeah.
poof, disappears.
Well, can't we fucking? Did he again use his ability as a aberrant mind sorcerer?
He is,
Also-
and he is now
Exactly.
30 feet away from you without any sorcery points.
About
wait,
that
so
counterspell.
It's because I wasn't
You
We-
covering his
cannot
eyes.
counterspell a
Wait, he
spell
was
cast in
covering
this
his
manner.
eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He rolled. So, actually, sorry, he rolled a natural 20. I will allow Scup to see if he beats this natural 20 from. Well, gets a matching natural 20. 'Cause it's a meets it, beats it sort of thing. He's
Is
contesting
athletics?
you. Yes.
Okay, I am blowing on my invisible die in my hands.
This is true, actually, because it's no longer verbal
That's
material
correct,
or
yeah.
somatic, so there's nothing to
Yeah.
counterspell.
Yeah.
Between the parents.
Even
Oh,
with
close
a
enough, buddy.
25, the natural 20 beats it. He's just 30 feet away from you,
get
screaming
him.
bloody murder. Sid, you could just like run up and jump on him.
Yeah, I will fucking do that.
He runs another 30 feet. Sid is capable of running like 80 feet in a turn. Sid charges him down, poof, flattens on top of him. He is now underneath you, squirming. Roll
And he's gagged.
roll a d6 just to see how much bludgeoning damage you deal while you fall on top of him. He is still gagged, but he's like screaming through his gag. 5 damage of bludgeoning as you just like fall on top of him. Spent out of sorcery points and crushed underneath the weight of Cedric. Dranth has finally been stopped.
While everyone's not really paying attention, I will change my appearance to my usual self. I obviously would put my mask on and whatnot before doing it.
Also, can
Good
Dranth make
question.
an int save quickly? Because this is what I was about to do as he was teleporting anyway, but it didn't
What?
stop that. Just int save on Dranth for Mind Sliver.
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you guys
15
going to let me
+5.
know that you've left?
Yeah, well, give us some time. We've been here for like 5
But
seconds.
I'm like basically actively fighting like 3-4 people.
Yeah.
Andros.
To know when I can leave.
Cutting back to you. It is a hectic and terrible time. You've heard a bunch of screaming coming from inside. Something that sounded familiar to Dranth. You heard some rustling on the other side of the building as everyone fell silent to try to listen. You saw some people run back through the main entrance, and the one elven woman started to walk along to here, and you watch her do so.
At this point, I'd blow my horn of silent alarm targeted at Anxie.
Don't think it works, buddy. But
Well, I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
you've teleported away, so it's
yeah,
I'm just.
Yeah,
not
maybe we're
playing
still
with
within
it.
600 feet and it's just local night.
I mean, I wouldn't have expected you to teleport halfway across the world and leave me
Yeah.
here. So.
To be fair, none of us did either.
yeah. Well, I kind of expected that it wouldn't be to a place we know of. So yeah. Once we are there and we've like captured him,
One
are you
second.
sending?
Andros, what are you doing in this moment?
So, is there still sounds of like fighting? Oh, where that woman.
There was a brief sound of screaming. You saw people running down the main corridor, and then you saw the one woman didn't run, but then afterwards slowly walked towards around here.
What did they do with my tentacle summon thing? I was still attacking him previously.
You were keeping them at bay with it for quite a while. I'll say that this was all sort of going on, whereas because they've got blink up, they're able to dash away from things at a moment's notice. You were slapping away some of their mirror images that they had up, so you were hitting them, but hitting their mirror images. You were able to keep them occupied this entire time, and had you not done so, they 100% would have carried back on in to report whatever would have happened to whatever boss they might have. They've realized at this point that your tentacle is invulnerable, incorporeal, and they are now just more or less keeping their distance from it the entire time until they heard that scream.
They were
Okay.
starting to set up police tape around it, but now they.
At this point, obviously, I don't know you've left yet, but I don't think there's much more I can do. So what I do is I start heading back towards where we came in from,
Okay.
thinking that's where it would make sense to meet up, and I obviously blow the horn for Anxie.
You
As
blow
I'm
the
moving.
horn and you feel that it doesn't reach its recipient.
Doesn't tell me much because there could be in a void stone room. So I go over to this corner, wait in a dark corner, and just re-up my invisibility.
Okay.
And I just wait half an hour or so
Okay.
at most.
Cutting back to this other group. It's not quite fully nighttime, but it's getting very, very close to it. You watch as the pitch black abyss that is the nighttime starts to roll over the desecrated and destroyed village beneath this temple. As the rest of you start to take in your surroundings, I'll say Anxie, having stayed back and transformed your form and trying to keep an eye and make sure people weren't seeing you, there's one person that you notice is not taking in the scenery. Carnellen is stood, staring towards the temple and towards some kind of entrance, looking catatonic.
Okay. Before I go towards him, I will cast Sending quickly and inform Andros that we are out of there. So I would say something like, God Gwen, we are out of there. Also God Drunt, get the fuck out of there and hide somewhere.
Andros,
Over.
those are your instructions. What are you doing?
I'm already up the wall. I misty step up the wall and misty step. Well, I don't misty step down, so I levitate down. So on the outside, and then
Do you have that many spell slots?
I have 2 spell slots.
You cast Levitate once to go up and over.
No, levitate is a feature. I can cast it on myself without using a spell slot.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then.
So I misty step up, and I use levitate to slowly fall down the other side,
That
go
you
back
do.
invisible, and then I make my way out.
Roll a stealth check as you do that. Okay. Thankfully, there isn't really that many people around to see it, and those that would be are far, far away, and you feel confident that you've slipped out undetected.
Yeah, so I go back invisible, and I head towards the tunnel.
Okay.
Okay. We're going back to the other.
Somewhere else, in a place
Okay.
where it's almost nighttime, you guys start to rally back together once more, and Platt, you look towards Carnellen. As you study him more, you see this face of terrified recognition on his face. Mouth agape, staring forward, emptily, with no inclination of what he should do.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Right, cool.
What
I'll stop speaking after this session. Fucking hell.
do you mean?
Got interrupted so many times. I fucking hate it.
Sorry,
Well,
Platy.
no, okay. So a little thing from our point of view as well, right? Like you were very much in control of the entire stealth operation right up until we met Gwen, and then I was like, okay, but now I need to just interrupt.
That was
And-
amazing. You did great.
But like when all that stuff is happening, I kind of understand that Dex is like, let's stop the in between talking and let's more like just fucking react and get going, because
Yeah.
otherwise we're metagaming maybe a little bit too much.
Oh, we
'Cause I-
are. I'm
'cause
not referencing that.
I'm also very curious what could happen if we would have just interrupted that guy with the hateful thoughts, for example. We just completely played it safe and we got away from it, right? But that's actually like that could have been very interesting.
I mean, we had the option to
And
interrupt
dangerous.
him. No one fucking said shit. I asked a few times.
No, I know. I was with you, but I was like, Sid would not do anything here.
Yeah,
right?
he's not
Yeah.
criticizing it. He's just like marveling on like how
Yeah.
intense
I
the
mean, it
moment
was very interesting. I really wanted to know what the fuck the guy was doing. Don't get me wrong. I really wanted to know. But also we didn't have much time because we knew that Andros is doing something outside. We didn't know whether people are still paying attention to his shit, and we didn't
Yeah.
know whether if we go up, someone's gonna catch us.